Josh Hamilton does not have to politic to get into the All-Star game. You wouldn't think. He's got an 18-game hitting streak during which his batting average is .500. But just because he's a swell guy, he's signing autographs. The Rangers with an 11-game winning streak taking on the Houston Astros tonight. Interleague baseball continues on a humid night here in Arlington. We welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball, Friday Night Baseball for you. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. The Josh Hamilton Show continues. Vlad Guerrero, the exciting walk-off yesterday. And meantime, the pitching just stays terrific. And Colby Lewis has a chance tonight to keep that going.
He sure does. And he kept it going on the road trip. Had two excellent starts on our last road trip. Maybe his best start of the year was his last start in Houston. He really can't throw the ball much better than this. Pinpoint command with his fastball, and probably the best assortment of off-speed pitches all season long. He went 9, complete game, couple of hits, 1 run, didn't walk a batter, struck out 9. Just one more excellent outing for Colby.
Yep, and as the Rangers try to push his win streak to 12, it's almost like Colby is the least of the worries. The Houston Astros were swept by the Rangers last weekend, but that was down in Houston. Now they come up here, and the Rangers will look to stick it to them again. Yesterday, they polished off the Pirates thanks to Vladimir Guerrero. He had the game-winning hit late last night. Coming up next, it's the Rangers and the Astros on Friday Night Baseball. Ford is the best in Texas. By Standard Insurance, call 1-800-929-2424. And by AT&T. See what's new from AT&T. Go to att.com for details. Spotty showers all around the Metroplex. Most of them are to the south and east of us right now. And even though it's humid and it's warm, We are going to be playing ball and to be plenty happy to be doing that right now. If you're a Ranger fan, these are high times. An 11-game win streak, that's the second best in the history of this franchise. And everybody that you're looking at right there, especially Josh Hamilton, has had a huge impact. They're all gathered around watching the highlights on the Jumbotron right now. They're looking at themselves doing good things and enjoying it. That's pretty cool right there.
Best one was watching Wandy Rodriguez clap his hands as Nolan punched out Robin Ventura.
Yeah, they run that footage before every game.
The visitors love that. They're always on the top step of the dugout watching that.
So under these gray skies, blue skies in Ranger fans' hearts right now, because again, they are 44-28, their little ball club right now. A 4.5 game lead on the Angels, who have not been playing that badly at all, but they're actually 6 back in the loss column. And that's a lot. Here are the Astros. We saw them just a week ago. Michael Bourne, the Houston native, leads it off. Then Jeff Keppinger and Lance Berkman, another native Texan. Carlos Lee and another native Texan. Hunter Pence is from right here in Arlington. Jeff Blum, Chris Johnson, Humberto Quintero, and another native Texan. Jason Bourgeois is Houston-born, and now he is playing for the Houston Astros, one-time Rangers draft pick. Well, you mentioned it right off the top tonight, Tag. Colby Lewis couldn't have done much better than the last one, although the one right before that was real good, too.
Yeah, he's had 14 starts this year. The record is up to 7-4. He's won his last 3. ERA is now 10th in the league. Only 63 hits in 93 innings. That's a 187 opponent's batting average. That's the best in the major leagues. In his last 2 starts, he's had 19 strikeouts and 1 walk. 90 strikeouts for the season. He's 8th. Innings pitched, he'll be in the top 5 after tonight. He's 1 start behind most of the leaders. And another good stat, he's had 5 starts at home, 9 on the road. But in the 5 starts at home, he's 4-0 with a 2.70 ERA. He's pitched really well in this ballpark.
What an incredible turnaround, because the last time Colby Lewis was a Ranger, he was being shown the door with a 7.30 ERA. And off he went to a couple other major league and minor league stops and all the way to Japan to try to figure everything out, and he did. Cut by the Royals not too long ago, and now he's become the ace right-handed starter of the Texas Rangers, his original organization.
Well, one thing he's got going for him tonight that he probably didn't expect, and Brian Moeller has the same thing. It's a cool night here. It's only 79 degrees, so it's a beautiful night to pitch in the middle of the month, and you don't expect it to be this cool.
Hamilton, Bourbon, and Cruz roam the outfield. Young Andrews, Kinsler, Smoke has become your starting infield. Max Ramirez, who caught that Colby Lewis 2-hitter just 5 days ago, or 6 days ago now. He is the catcher, and bang, right away. 1 pitch, 1 out. Colby Lewis works quickly, throws strikes, gets grounders, and we know that immediately tonight. Important to keep Michael Bourne off the bases. He's their big base stealing threat.
Colby's ready to throw his pitch before Bourne's even past the pitcher's mound on his way back to the dugout.
But when you're going as well as Colby Lewis is going, I'm sure that's part of it. You can't wait to just keep on doing what you're doing. Eric Cooper is a home plate umpire tonight. These umpires had a crazy travel day. They missed their flights out of Seattle yesterday because that game went 13 innings. There's another ground ball. 3 pitches, all of them strikes, and 2 outs. You got 4 umpires on very little sleep, and they would appreciate a crisp performance out there tonight, nice and quick.
When did they come in this morning? Did they have to get an early morning flight?
Yeah, 2 of the 4 guys were able to red-eye, including Mr. Cooper behind the plate. But the other 2 had to go through Atlanta. They went Seattle to Atlanta to Dallas. That was Mike Riley's itinerary.
Wow.
And I believe Chad Fairchild went Seattle through Minneapolis to Detroit. No, to, Seattle, Detroit to Dallas. That's what it was.
Basically every man for himself then to get here, huh?
No, and that's the thing, the umpires don't get to travel with a team. They travel on their own. They're business travelers. They handle their own luggage. They make their own reservations. Lance Berkman's going to send one up in the air. Ramirez will take a look, but it's back in a crowd. I think a lot of his crowd is still not here quite yet. Stuck in traffic. But on their way. The Rangers expecting north of 40,000 tonight. There's fireworks after the game.
Unfortunately, the rain looks like it is held off. There was a chance of a shower, but it looks like we'll be okay.
2-1 delivery to Berkman. We spun back up into the crowd. The Rangers, as you'd expect, are drawing well. It goes hand in hand with winning. An 11-game winning streak. Only that May of 1991 win streak was any better. And if they sweep these Astros, they'll have matched that. They'll go from 11 to 14, and they'll try to break the franchise record against, of all teams, the Angels. And that is the one thing that I think brings everybody back down to earth, Tom. The fact that the Rangers and Angels still play 17 more times head-to-head.
Yeah, and that's obviously a big part of the schedule. Rangers have a very tough schedule right after the All-Star break. And you just can't count the Angels out. They've been there. They've done it. They've been the best team in our division for a long time. And until someone dethrones them, they'll be right there at the end.
Called third strike. A 1-2-3. First inning for Colby Lewis. Andrus, Young, and Kinsler coming up. There's no score. Who had a one-hitter through 6 innings against the Rangers just several days ago. Andrus, Young, and Kinsler. There's Vlad Guerrero hitting .326. Josh Hamilton, this is just insane. 23 for his last 39. Cruz, Smoke, Ramirez, Bourbon. Everybody's hitting right now. And that's bad news for Brian Moeller, who did tame the Rangers somewhat in that start back in Houston. Here's the scouting report on Brian Moeller.
17 games, most of them in relief. He's had 5 starts. Numbers don't look that good. But Saturday against the Rangers, he was very good. 1 hit, Justin Smoke's 2-run homer. 9 walks in his last 10 2/3. The walks played a little bit of a part in that Ranger win. David Murphy worked a long walk, and that was right before Justin hit his 2-run homer.
Andrews suddenly 5 for his last 9 after a 3 for 34 spin. The bleaching of the hair didn't go real well at the plate for Elvis. That down streak coinciding with the blonde that he put in his hair. The blonde is gone, and well, the hits are back. Sprays that one into the crowd. We talked about Moeller during that start in Houston, Tom, as a guy who just keeps finding a way to be employed. He will give you 5 or 6 innings when he starts. They probably won't be spectacular, but he's a workmanlike guy. 83 big league wins. 107 big league losses. These Astros have changed up a little bit since we've last seen them. They dipped down to their AAA team in Round Rock and brought up 4 players since the last time we saw them just a week ago. For Brad Mills. Andrews to Keppinger, who can't collect it, and Elvis is on. A tough play for Keppinger. And it is ruled a base hit.
Yeah, some of those changes, Joshua, will affect the starting pitching. They'll miss Paulino. He's on the disabled list. Josh Banks was called up to start tomorrow's game against the Rangers. Paulino has a good arm. It's probably a benefit to the Rangers not to face him. They will get Roy Oswalt this time around, though, and that'll be a challenge.
We got to make sure that's not taken out of context when we say they will get Roy Oswalt, but
we'll face him on the mound.
Michael Young keeps getting asked about that because he is kind of the de facto spokesperson in that clubhouse sometimes, and that's a tough one. When you ask Michael Young, how'd you like Roy Oswalt on your team? I mean, what are you supposed to say? Who wouldn't like Roy Oswalt on their team? But down the right field line, and barely foul. Well, that didn't miss by much. Hunter Pence, that right fielder, used to come to this ballpark several times a year in middle school and high school. Back when he was teeny weeny at the old ballpark. Two-strike pitch. It is pounded into center, but it hangs up there for Bourne. Other Astros to show you. Bourgeois with Bourne and Pence. These are not the killer bees you grew up with here. Blum, Bourne, and Bourgeois. Moeller works with Humberto Quintero. And now Kinsler, who's got exactly 2 hits in 4 straight games. That batting average climbing into the mid-280s. Still has just the 1 homer. Elvis on the move. The throw is high, and Elvis in under the tag with his 21st steal of the year. Well, the Rangers stay aggressive on the bases.
See the throw sail high, allowed Elvis to get in. Might add a shot at him if he made a perfect throw, but Elvis had a pretty good jump.
Got that one in on Kinsler. He pops it way, way up there. And Berkman was going to put it away. Now we'll bring up last night's hero. You had a sense the Rangers would find a way. Even when it was 4-0 in the first inning, 5-1 late in the game. And they did find a way. Vlad Guerrero was up there with a chance to win it. And had his 14th career walk-off base hit. That set off quite the celebration up there near first base. Vlad just turned on a ball with 2 strikes on him. Not an easy ball to turn on, but he just whistled it in to left. And that win streak got on to 11. This one does not get into left. But if only one was going to, I picked the one last night. The Rangers do not score here in the first inning. Second inning when we come back. our friend Julie Dobbs.
Hey Josh, yes, I'm here in the TXA 21 and Texas Rangers Foundation Community Corner, and our special guest tonight is Rita Schumann. She's the Director of Development for the Sunshine Kids. And Rita, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Sunshine Kids do?
Okay, so we're a nonprofit organization. We're dedicated to children with cancer. We provide activities and trips for kids that have been diagnosed, and we provide that for kids all across the country.
And we have another special guest. This is Caleb, and Caleb is a child associated with the Sunshine Kids. And Caleb, I heard you had a pretty cool afternoon. Tell me about what you got to do.
Yes, ma'am. We got to meet Ian Kinsler and his wife, Tess, and Ian kind of spoke a little bit. We got to ask him a bunch of questions and all that kind of stuff. And then we got to go eat at this big, huge buffet, and it was fun. Really fun.
What'd you eat?
I can't even say it all. It was amazing.
So a lot of food. You got to meet Ian Kinsler. Sounds like a great organization. Josh, we'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Julie. And Ian continuing a nice lineage of second basemen in this state who were big with the Sunshine Kids. Craig Biggio was just unbelievable with that foundation, and Kinsler, on Biggio's recommendation, has picked that up here in the Metroplex. Former Ranger Carlos Lee having a disappointing season, hitting just .228. He's going to stretch out and pop it into shallow center field. This is just where Colby Lewis left off a few days ago against the Astros.
The one thing Colby's been able to do in his last 3 starts, he's averaged 8 innings per start, 7 innings, 8 innings, and 9 innings. And one of the main reasons he's been so successful is he can throw a breaking ball at any time in the count. And he threw Carlos Lee in that at bat a 2-2 fastball, but then he got him with a breaking ball. He's way out in front of it and just popped it up. And for a hitter, when you can't rely on a fastball and a fastball count, it just makes hitting a lot more difficult. Colby, with the command that he's got of his off-speed pitches, allows him to throw them anytime he wants, really.
Pence hits it sharply but right to Elvis Andrus. Pence was the first guy to actually reach against Lewis in that game last Saturday with an infield hit. That didn't happen until the 5th inning.
Yeah, and that's the pitch Colby got away with. That looked like a hanging slider, and Pence hit it sharply. Fortunately, it was on the ground and right at Elvis. Colby in his last start mentioned maybe one pitch that he didn't throw where he wanted to, which is pretty remarkable in about 100 pitches. And that's a slider that never got outside. Kind of hung, stayed in the middle of the plate, but turned into a quick out. No damage done. The change up right there.
To Jeff Blum, who's playing shortstop with the injury to Tommy Manzella. He broke a finger and he's going to be out for a while. It was quite the matchup when it was Lewis against Moeller back on Saturday in Houston. These two guys combined had given up 2 hits through 6 innings, 1 apiece. Not only did the Rangers go on to win that game handily, but obviously they've won every game since then, 11 straight. One better than the White Sox. They won their 10th in a row today. And that's starting to look like the series of the century coming up, 4th of July weekend here. The White Sox will come in for 3. Right now they've won 10 straight. Right now the Rangers have won 11 straight, and we are a week away from those two teams going head to head.
Yeah, earlier in the season you looked at that homestand and said it looks like a pretty easy homestand, all losing teams, but White Sox are not anything close to a losing team right now.
To third and by Michael Young, who was playing off the line. Blum just kind of twisting it into left.
And he just didn't even drive that ball. He just kind of slapped it, reached out, and the ball touched the bat. Kind of slapped it right down the line. A well-placed double.
There was one of those early in the game yesterday against Scott Feldman, the one that Pedro Alvarez, the left-hand hitting third baseman, had for the Pirates. So the first hit of the game for Houston is an opposite field double for Blum. And a guy we haven't seen before, Chris Johnson, one of those guys brought up from AAA. Pedro Feliz has been pretty much a washout for them at third base. They're going to give Johnson a bit of a test drive here. Had 8 home runs at Round Rock.
Yeah, based on Felice's career, I'm sure the Astros are very disappointed. He's been a pretty solid guy, not a middle of the order guy, but you know, a good solid 7th place hitter who hit you 18 home runs, knock in 75 or 80 runs. Just hasn't happened for him yet this season.
The Rangers definitely own the better Feliz right now. Neftali continuing to lead the AL in saves. Nothing to save yesterday as the Rangers won with the walk-off. Darren Oliver kind of settled everything down. Came on and pitched those 2 innings of relief. Frankie Francisco a scoreless 9th. That ball's hit just enough to get into left center, and the Astros will grab the lead here. Bourbon sliding to knock it down. Johnson's on his way to second base. And already the Astros have against Colby Lewis what they had in 9 innings against him 6 days ago.
Bourbon was playing over in right center field, playing Johnson to be an opposite field hitter, but he had an off-speed pitch that he was able to get out in front of. And already in this inning, Colby's probably located a couple of his off-speed pitches in decent hitter spots more than he did in the whole game in Houston. That ball got a lot of the plate, and Johnson took advantage of it.
Now the Pirates scored first in 2 of those 3 games from that last series. The Rangers came back to win all of them. Here's the first action for Humberto Quintero in a week. He got hit on that backswing from Andres Blanco. Now opened him up for 7 stitches. This is the first time he's back playing for the Astros since then. Well, that was a scary episode right there. Blanco felt horrible. Quintero did not want to leave the game, but he needed stitches. Outside to him, 1-2. By the way, if you thought that little highlight we just showed you was somebody going off in the dugout, wait till you see what Carlos Zambrano did today for the Cubs. He's been suspended by the Cubs, going after his teammate Derek Lee in the dugout in the first inning. When Lou Piniella is the voice of reason, saying we can't have guys getting out of control, you know it's pretty bad.
Wow.
And the White Sox winning their 10th straight. They shut out the Cubs 6-0. And the big Z has been suspended. Jake Peavy, the shutout.
Well, if they can suspend him without pay, they'll save some of that $15 million or so they're paying him every year.
A much longer second inning for Colby Lewis than the first. He was just spot on in that first inning. Kinsler is going to grab it out of midair. And that'll end it for the Houston Astros. They had back-to-back 2-out hits. And they lead 1-0 with Hamilton coming up. The Rangers moving forward, trying to get from 11 wins in a row to 12, and this might be just the guy to do it. Josh Hamilton, 18-game hitting streak, during which he is 36 for 72. And math majors, yep, that is a 500 batting average. So now for the year, third best in the AL, 345. Second all of a sudden in slugging. Second in the league, third in the majors. We've rolled out this stat before, Tag. Last year, whoever that guy was that was in Josh Hamilton's jersey was 130th in slugging percentage. This year he is third.
It's amazing what being healthy can do for you.
Moeller's being a little bit careful here. You don't blame him. 3-0.
I mentioned Moeller's walked 8 or 9 in his last 2 starts. One of them scored in front of Justin Smoke's home run. That was David Murphy in his last start against the Rangers.
Swinging 3-0, and he lines it. Penn slips, and makes a great play to make sure it doesn't get by him.
He did make a great play. That would have been a triple. If he didn't slip, he might have had a chance to make a diving shoestring catch. Just pokes Berkman in the head. Watch out, Lance.
Yeah, that's the thing. After you get a hit, you got to give that claw signal to the dugout. Yeah, if this ball gets by Pence, I think you're right. I think that's 3 bases.
But Pence recovered and made a beautiful play, actually, to stop this ball.
Wow.
Josh swinging 3-0, hit a ball hard. Just didn't get it up in the air.
And that's the deal, right? If you swing 3-0, you cannot just top the ball. You're supposed to just smoke it somewhere, right?
Well, you want to get number one, you want to get a good pitch. And the thing Ted Williams always used to say, if you're going to swing 3-0 or 3-1, 2-0, you can't be late. You can't get jammed. And he certainly didn't get jammed. He hit it on the good part of the bat. He just didn't get it up in the air much. So if you have a 3-0 pitch and you take a good swing at it and you hit it on the good part of the bat and it's a ground ball and it's hit hard, there's not much you can do about that. That's a good swing. But you don't want to have a pitch a little bit inside, get jammed, hit a little blooper, and make it out in that way. That's not what you're looking to do on 3-1. You probably didn't get a good pitch to hit.
A little bit of a drizzle here on this humid night. And Nelly Cruz down on strikes. Nice recovery by Moeller. All right, so if Lance Berkman didn't know about this claw thing that the Rangers guys do before, I'm pretty sure he's aware of it now. He's hitting everything, Josh Hamilton.
He was out cold.
Now Smoke, who had the 2-run homer off Moeller in Houston. That was an upper deck shot. Be interesting to see how the ball does carry tonight with this little mist of a rain that's coming down and kind of a swirling breeze, not much of it.
Yeah, last night it didn't carry that well at all. Both Smoke and Nelly Cruz back-to-back hit balls that on a lot of nights would have been home runs. There wasn't much breeze at all last night. A little bit more of a breeze tonight, so we'll see how the ball carries.
Hamilton, the base runner, now with a 19-game hitting streak. He had never before had a 14-game hitting streak. Now he's got a 19 going. It's possible if he strikes out in every at-bat the rest of the month, he'll be player of the month. He's got enough built up. Smoke with a roller towards second base. They're going to try to get Hamilton, and they barely do. An aggressive play by Keppinger. For a six-fielder's choice. Rangers had a shot there to make it 2 on and 1 out. If Hamilton could have beaten this out, but Keppinger got it there in time.
The only reason he didn't beat it out was because the ball was hit right in front of him, and he had to stop. Not stop, but slow down for just a split second. And that's probably why Keppinger did go to second. He realized he might have a chance to get him. Josh could have somehow gotten past the ball before the ball got to him. I don't think there would have been a play at second.
Max Ramirez takes down and outside, and that snap throw is close to get smoked, but it didn't happen.
He made a great throw. Threw it right on the bag. It's always easier for a left-handed first baseman with his glove on his right hand to make that tag. Right-handed throwing first baseman has to turn all the way around to try to make that tag. It's not quite as quick.
On the ground, third base. And the short way to end the inning. The Rangers have a couple of hits, so do the Astros, but the Astros have the only run. Right there. Tom Grieve, you have one of those?
No, I don't.
No, me either. Crowd continues to gather, even though the raindrops continue to pick up in volume here. No major rain events are forecast tonight, but just one of those kind of humid, dreary nights, possibly. Nothing that a 12-game win streak would not cure. And the Rangers have a shot as they built a 4.5-game lead in the AL West. That ball rammed in right field. And Jason Bourgeois, one-time Ranger second-round pick 10 years ago, still haven't had it. Spent a little bit of time with the White Sox and the Brewers. Now getting a shot with Houston. Once through the order here at TAG, the Astros have more hits against Colby Lewis than they had for the entire game 6 days ago.
They've seen more pitches to hit one time through the lineup than they saw that whole game, too. Colby hasn't had quite the same command of his pitches early in the game as he did in the last game. Really, the last 3 games, for that matter.
Young in on the grass at third. You got to take away that bunt from Michael Bourne if you can. Got 2 native Houstonians in play here, one at the plate and one on base. Born out of Nimitz High School and then the University of Houston. One-time Phillies prospect, came over in the deal for Brad Lidge. Runner goes, wave and a miss. Max Ramirez guns it into center field. Backed up by Bourbon. And I don't know if Elvis was just trying to sit on Bourgeois so he wouldn't advance, but Bourgeois definitely could not advance. That is the 4th major league stolen base for Bourgeois, who's had about 250 in the minors. Obviously, Colby not looking nearly as comfortable as he was that entire game in Houston. On the ground, second base. That'll move the runner. And here's where Colby's going to have to do some real fancy stepping, because the guy coming up next, Jeff Keppinger, is a real good contact hitter. In fact, at the point at which Colby faced him last Saturday, Keppinger was the 2nd toughest guy to strike out in the major leagues at that point. And then Colby faced him twice and struck him out twice.
Ron Washington is going to play the infield in right here. Rangers had a hard time against Brian Moeller the first time. They're having a hard time against him so far tonight. Ron doesn't want to concede a run right here. Wants to try to cut it off if he can.
Knocked down by Max Ramirez. Remember, the only run that scored against Colby in that game in Houston is one that was in the dirt that Max Ramirez let slip by.
And already, Max, the way he blocked that ball was entirely different than the one once or twice in Houston where he tried to catch the ball and it went by his glove. That time he went down on both knees and blocked the ball.
Outside to Keppinger.
Watch him go down on both knees, get the glove down, and keep the ball in front of him.
With the infield in, Colby Lewis gets a little pop-up. That'll work. Justin Smokin, foul ground for out number 2.
And made a good pitch. Got the ball in on his fists and jammed him, and that's all he could do with it.
Now, the 3 games right before this one, we talked about it. Colby had allowed his opponents a 111 batting average, 9 for 81. It's a little bit shocking to see the Astros come out 3 for their first 9 tonight. But if he gets Berkman, this thing stays 1-0.
Josh, we have some people to thank tonight. Do that the next couple of innings. Amanda Belt sent up a beautiful batch of Rice Krispie treats, which we appreciate.
And 8.
And you'll be very happy to know that we received another beautiful Kleenex box.
Yeah, well, I think you're happier than me because you
probably, because I like Kleenex.
You're staunchly on record as being pro Kleenex.
Juanita Cox and her family are responsible for that. Thank you very much, Juanita. We have a collection going now. Yours is the second one. Got it right on top of our little microwave. Very nice of you to think of us and send that up here.
I believe we can. If Lance Berkman takes a pitch, we can show it to the good people out there.
How about if he misses a pitch?
That would work too. We're not really collecting these per se, but for some weird reason, these are all the rage. Personalized Tom Grieve related Kleenex boxes. And it tweets.
Oh.
Unlike you.
Unlike me.
Berkman checks, takes down and outside.
Well, Juanita Cox and her family, thank you very much for sending that to us. Be a lot of dry noses up here from now on. No runny noses in this booth.
2-2 with 2 out. This big crowd starts to make some noise. 3-2.
That's a pitch that Colby didn't throw very often in his last start. The curveball that looked like it almost slipped out of his hand and just never came back down.
You know, in the radio booth, it's all about the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
We're going to line up Kleenex boxes over here.
Eric and Dave have a great assortment of bobbleheads going right there.
The end of the crowd. I want to thank Mimi Grossman, wonderful Ranger fan and one of the nicest ladies I've ever met. Took the time to make us some cheesecake and send it up.
That is a serious cheesecake too, boy.
Yeah, I know. You can tell she worked on that.
That's a beauty.
Thank you, Mimi. That was very much appreciated. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Berkman. Little flare. Elvis tears after it, going back. He will make an unbelievable diving catch in center field.
Wow. Hello, highlight reel tonight. Even Elvis has a smile after catching that. Looked like a wide receiver making a diving catch. And kept it in the glove.
And Colby Lewis says, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's a run right there.
Rain, lots of humidity. The Houston Astros are in town. It's Houston weather in North Texas here. The Astros in for 3. Tomorrow is a day game with a Reckless Kelly concert after. Sunday, it's Viva Los Rangers Day. Rangers paying tribute to their players with Hispanic heritage. So many of them are contributing this year. Bourbon bouncing out. And it brings up Elvis Andrus, who just a couple minutes ago made a spectacular diving catch to save a run. You mentioned the highlight reel tag. That is a growing commodity for Elvis Andrus. Now that he's had a year and a half as a Ranger, it'll be tough to pick a top 10 with Elvis, and he's possibly got 15 or 20 more years to go with this team. Goes up 1-0, and here's that catch he made to Rob Berkman.
The question was, could he keep it in the glove when he slammed down to the ground?
Yeah, I think hanging on to the ball might be the most impressive part of all that. Already a hit and a steal in this one tonight for Elvis. The Rangers are 26-11 here at home. And most of this 11-game win streak actually was cobbled together on the road. The last 8 games of that road trip to Milwaukee, Miami, and Houston. It's been 2 weeks to the date since the Rangers have lost a game. Chris Narveson of Milwaukee was the winning pitcher. Whoop, come on back, Elvis. Not yet.
Elvis is going to make him throw 3 strikes. There just aren't that many hitters in the league willing to take 2 pitches like that. Most of them will take the 3-0 pitch, but they're going to be wailing away at that one. And I think Elvis was probably saying to himself, fine, that's a strike. I hope I see the same pitch this time so I can swing at it. He's just trying to get on base.
And, whoa, Berkman's going to rob him. What a turnaround that is. It was Berkman getting robbed by Andrews, and now strike that, reverse it for out number 2.
Yeah, Berkman got there, but then had to contend with a little hop. And was able to dive and reach up and make the play and take it himself.
The big Puma, Lance Berkman. Now Michael Young, who doesn't have a nickname for public consumption. The players call him Slick. That's been going on for years. For his defense and for his very well-kept style of dress. Always a very together GQ kind of dresser is Michael Young. So that slick thing that's popular with his teammates, but nobody really outside the clubhouse is involved in that. Lance Berkman can walk down the streets of Houston and it's, hey, Puma. Nobody will say, hey, Slick to Michael Young. I mean, they could, but just hadn't happened. Michael had a big triple in the game last night. That moved him past Ruben Sierra on the all-time Rangers hit list. Rangers fighting back from down 5-1 to win. With that win, you can make it, well, 70 runs scored and 33 allowed during this 11-game win streak. Rangers team ERA during that time has been 2.7. Taken, and it's 2-2.
It looks like the crowd you were talking about is just about here now. They're sitting in all areas of the ballpark. Usually a pretty good sign there's going to be 40,000.
Now the weather didn't help the walk-up sales today, but again, that 11-game win streak sure did. And it's the battle for the silver boot, you know.
Oh, it's tough to look at the Ranger-Astro series and not say that it's a huge success with the fans, because it's always a big draw here.
And in Houston as well.
Yeah, a lot of Ranger fans like to go down to Houston to watch that game, so there's more people there because of the series.
Two-two delivery to Michael. Is down and in. Kinsler on deck. Two o'clock game tomorrow, a 7 o'clock game on Sunday. And the Rangers hit the road to play the Angels. And again, the Rangers at 4.5 games up on the Halos. The better part of that is the fact that they've got them by a full 6 in the loss column. The Rangers have a few games in hand on LA. Angels are taking on the Rockies later tonight, sending Jared Weaver out there. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. We will see number 10. The only final from today is that White Sox game we mentioned over the Cubs 6-zip. Boy, Jake Peavy really starting to pitch now. White Sox getting all kinds of pitching, and Carlos Quentin starting to heat up a little bit. Had a home run today. The 10th pitch of the at-bat deposited into left.
Well, that was a great at-bat and a great battle. Moeller's a veteran guy, really knows how to pitch. And he can change speeds. His fastball has good movement. He can throw you a changeup anytime he wants. Michael battled. He was out in front of a lot of pitches to foul him off. He's real out in front of this, either a slider or a changeup. Hits it toward the end of the bat, but battles his way on for a base hit. That at bat's the difference in Moeller getting out of the third inning with a real low pitch count, or being kind of in an average pitch count, depending on what happens with Ian. Could be a high pitch count.
Hitting safely in 12 of his last 13, Kinsler appears to be on the move again, hitting .321 in the last 2 weeks. He hit .321 in his first 2 weeks when he finally came off the DL. The problem was what was in the middle of that sandwich. He hit around 200. Kinsler not a fan. He and Eric Cooper have jawed before.
That's a pitch you don't see called very often.
But you know what? It's a strike.
Yeah, in spite of where the tracker shows it, generally that pitch is not called a strike.
That one drifts a bit away, 2-2. Big bad Vlad on deck. Guerrero swinging a bat, hoping to come up this inning. But he will not. Kinsler throws the bat in the helmet in disgust, and Cooper's telling him to go pick it up. And now Kinsler's thrown out of the game because he didn't do it. So the Rangers will have to go with a different second baseman the rest of the way. So you could tell just from body language, Cooper was instructing Kinsler, if you're going to litter like that, you better go pick it up. And Kinsler is making no move towards his thrown equipment.
Well, what happened, Josh, was not to go pick it up, but then he threw his batting glove. He threw the bat, he threw his helmet. Cooper pointed at that, and then he threw the batting glove up in the air, and I think that was the final straw for Cooper. And, you know, if Ian had to do it over again to stay in the game, he probably wouldn't throw his batting glove. He was upset with the calls.
End of 3, 1-0 Houston. Carlos Lee at the plate, and the Rangers have had to put a different second baseman into the game. They're booing the heck out of the home plate umpire, Eric Cooper.
Well, he called some borderline pitches that looked low, that generally aren't called strikes, and a lot of times we'll show those pitches on the tracker. They actually catch the bottom of the tracker very seldom will they be called strikes. And if that's Eric Cooper's strike zone today, and it's called that way for both teams, then there's not a whole lot you can say about it. From Ian's standpoint, he's just not used to having those pitches called strikes.
Now they're really giving it to Cooper. Every time he doesn't call a strike, it'll be recognized.
You know, I don't blame him, because where was that last pitch? It was a strike to Ian twice.
Cooper's the guy that had home plate during the Mark Burley no-hitter against the Rangers a few years ago. Lee laces one into left field. Hamilton quickly after it, and Carlos Lee just kind of jogging to first. That'll be a single. Got up in the count 3-1 and did his thing. Hunter Pence will come up next. We go to Julie Dobbs.
Yes, hey Josh, I am here with another very special guest. This is, of course, the silver boot that the winner of this Rangers and Astros Lone Star Series will receive. And this boot, as you can see, is really cool. It's actually a size 15 cowboy boot with a handcrafted real spur on the back. Now, of course, the Rangers have won the boot the past 4 series, and they just need one more win in the season series to maintain their possession. So if you're out of the ballpark, make sure and come check it out. It'll be behind home plate for the duration of the weekend. This is the silver boot, everybody. Josh,
right.
Back to you.
Thank you, Julie. And yeah, the boot has had residence here in Arlington 5 of the last 6 seasons now. The Astros have the lead tonight, though, 1-0, and looking for more here in the top of the 4th. You know what's crazy, Tag? The way the Rangers are playing right now and the way they're winning games, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the game-winning hit tonight came from Andres Blanco. Now the Kinsler's
nice.
out, you know.
Well, you know, we've talked about that the whole streak, how it's been a team effort, and just about everybody's had opportunities to contribute to it. It's a little bit tougher for the extra guys who aren't playing every day. So that would be very nice if Andres got a chance to do that.
There's a check swing by Pence. You talked about this in Houston, Tom. How he's one of the very few big leaguers that chokes way up on the bat.
Well, for that kind of a check swing, being choked up is a huge advantage. It's easier to control your swing.
Pence is gone here, though. First out of the inning.
They fooled him with his breaking ball.
The Colby Lewis strikeout train is a little slow out of the station tonight. Young in a bit at third. Jeff Blum takes inside. Yeah, 2 strikeouts for Colby now. He had 9 last time against the Astros. And as you said earlier, Tom, he's at 90 for the year. One of the top 10 totals in the AL. Now, Ian Kinsler, if he's watching on TV, will not be a fan. And that one's laced into right. Lee tearing towards third. Elvis cuts it off, and now they've got the runner between first and second. And they will tag him out. Lee's got to scramble back to third. Boy, Elvis Andrus just continues to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, he's the cutoff man, and you hope you're at the right place at the right time and that the throw hits the cutoff man. They didn't have a chance to get Lee at third, but when Blum took the wide turn, Elvis cuts it off, and they get a big out on the bases, and that's why it's so important to hit the cutoff man. You miss the cutoff man, there's no chance to get the runner going to second base. Now they pick up a big out right there. Instead of 1 out, first and third, 2 outs now.
9-6-3-4 is how you score it. Inning is left to Chris Johnson. He has driven the lone run of the game so far, his 4th RBI of the year.
Again, if you're the Rangers and you see that low pitch being called a strike, and it was definitely called a strike to Ian, the logical thing for you to say is, well, if that's a strike to Ian, it should be a strike every time that pitch is thrown. And we haven't seen that. in the top of the fourth. It's been that same pitch several times, and it's been a ball. And it usually is called a ball, even though the tracker shows it's a strike at the bottom of the strike zone. It looks low, and generally it's called low. The hitter thinks it's low. And when it's called a strike, it's surprising to the hitter. You don't expect that pitch to be called a strike. That's what Ian was upset with. One's one thing, but then when you have it called back-to-back like that for strike 3, it is something that will upset a hitter.
Second career ejection for Ian. So it will be Blanco the rest of the way at second base and batting third. That'll be the nicest thing that's happened to Blanco offensively this year, getting to hit in between Michael Young and Vlad Guerrero. Two delivery. He is poked towards the crowd again.
You go back to that cutoff throw. If you're watching the throw and you don't have a good angle, some people might have said, why didn't he let it go? They might have had Lee at third base. But when you're the cutoff man, you're lined up between the thrower and the base. And if it's not right at you, you know it's not going to be an accurate throw. And that ball was off to the right. And so if he had let it gone, it would have been 6 or 7 feet away from third base. So then you know to cut it. You don't have to be told when you know it's offline.
Once again, it is Johnson who delivers.
Now again, Kobe just not locating his breaking balls like he did in the last game against Houston. That's, the 6th or 7th breaking ball that's just got a lot of the plate. And it's not down and away. It's in a good hitter zone, and Johnson just slapped it into right field. But it's supposed to be down and away. Instead, it's a little bit away, but it's up. And that allowed Johnson to get the bat on it.
The native Floridian, the former Stetson University Hatter, comes up, and he's done a nice job these few games he's played.
It's tough to compare any game to the game Kobe had in Houston, because he was just about perfect in that game. He only made a couple of, in his own mind, a couple of bad pitches the whole game. And when you can say that, you know you're going to pitch a good game. So 9 innings, no walks, 9 strikeouts, only 2 hits in the game. Any game is going to be second to that.
Meantime, a little trend developing here as the Rangers continue to fall behind early to the lower rung teams in the National League. Now, the trend has been over the last week or so to fight back and win those games. Plenty of time left tonight. Quintero checks his swing. Well, the Rangers will have some serious hitters coming up. Bottom of the 4th inning. Guerrero, Hamilton, and Cruz.
Well, Kobe, in 11 of his 14 starts, has given up 5 hits or less.
Wow.
There's only been a couple of starts, 2 or 3 starts, where he's given up more hits than innings pitched in that particular start. He's averaging about 109 pitches per start. That's the 2nd most in the American League.
Lewis is out of the inning with his 3rd strikeout, but Chris Johnson drives in his 2nd run of the game. Now Vlad Guerrero and company trying to fight on back. taking their cuts in the sports park. And at the plate, here are the big boys. The guys getting paid the serious money to hit them that hard that they will skip off a major league third baseman. Vlad Guerrero is on. The tying man comes up, and it's Josh Hamilton. Just like that.
Well, see if they can make a pay for the error. Hard hit ball, but that's a ball that Johnson should handle.
Josh Hamilton comes up 24 for his last 40. A 19-game hitting streak intact. And pushing his way back into the All-Star game again. Last year, Hamilton, the first game that the Astros played here on the Friday night of the weekend series, had a huge game. 4 extra base hits, 6 runs batted in. And try to spin him out of there. It's 2-0. In interleague play, now Josh has hit safely in every one of his interleague games this year. First.
Wow. He's got a 2-0 count right here to a hot hitter. Pretty good chance he's going to throw him a changeup right here. Just, I don't think he feels like he can afford to throw him a fastball for a strike.
Grounded foul.
Didn't look like a changeup. Might have been a sinker and a pretty good pitch.
I'll just
trying to get him hit a ground ball.
And Josh does hit a bunch of ground balls, but he runs so well. We're still waiting for him to be doubled up. The only major leaguer right now, everyday major leaguer, that has not hit into a double play as of this moment. He still has not done it. Ripping it into right. Just can't keep up statistically here. 25 for his last 41. And you want to shrink it down from there, Tom. How about 13 for his last 17?
No matter how you slice it, it's pretty impressive.
Checking some other scores. We mentioned the White Sox beat the Cubs 6-zip. The Toyota on the road Major League Baseball scoreboard. Interleague play everywhere. Phillies in Toronto. There's Arizona leading Tampa Bay tonight. San Diego playing the remade Marlins.
Yeah, the game between Philadelphia and Toronto is in Philadelphia, but Toronto is the home team. That's unusual.
That is bizarre. That's because of that global summit taking place in Toronto. They had to move that series. Would have been Roy Halladay.
Yep. It would have been back home, but now it's in Philadelphia, shutting them out.
Cruz, a hot shot, got to scramble back. Safe. Here's Vlad Guerrero, barely.
Good base running right there by Vlad. Good luck for Nelly. Hit the ball pretty well, but right at the shortstop. You take one extra step, and you're going to be out. Vladdy never took that step toward third, and just barely got back.
Well, that was close. Brings up Justin Smoke, who's got 8 home runs already. Came up at the end of April from AAA. One of those 8 home runs was a 405-footer against Brian Moeller. Here's another sizzling hot Ranger hitter. 22 runs batted in this month. That is a Ranger rookie record for most in 1 month. He goes up 2-0. I'm going to put in the call here, Tag.
Okay.
I know we've seen this movie before. Moeller giving up the home run to Smoke.
Well, you probably won't see the same pitch that he saw, high fastball. He'll probably see the same pitch he tried to throw to Josh. A sinker down and away, try to get him to hit a ground ball, or maybe a changeup. Looks like a changeup the way he's gripping the ball.
Ripped in a right field base hit. Vlad goes to third. It will be held, and they are loaded up.
That's too bad. It's another base hit, but it's right at the right fielder, and it was well hit, so there's no way Guerrero could score. And it was a 2-0 changeup, but it was high in the strike zone, and Justin hit it well. If he got it elevated a little bit, it would have been a 3-2 game. Not fooled by the changeup that time, and the more he sees of him, the less he will be fooled.
Max Ramirez will bat. And coming into this year, Max had only 2 major league home runs. His first one was against these Houston Astros to win a game.
Well, we're talking about everybody getting a chance to contribute to the success of the streak. Here's a good chance for Max.
The native Venezuelan was not, of course, with the team to start the year. The Rangers catchers were Jared Saltalamacchia and Taylor Teagarden. One's in AAA, one's in AA. And Matt Trainer has come up and done such an unbelievable job. It's now the Matt and Max catching tandem. Again, a Ranger goes up 2-0.
Bases loaded. He has to throw you a strike right here. If you're Moeller right here, you need to try to throw your sinker and get a ground ball. If you're Max, you got to get a good pitch to hit.
Skies it towards center. Michael Bourne, who leads the National League in outfield assists, by the way, is getting ready, but he's got no shot at home plate. Sac fly makes it 2-1.
Well, that's a good at bat. You bring in a run. You had a good swing at that pitch. Looked like a cutter on 2-0. Just got underneath it a little bit, but he hit it far enough to pick up a run. You at least want to do that, so good job.
Julio Bourbon had a 3-run homer not too long ago. I have a chance to do it again. He's got 2 homers now, both in the last couple of weeks.
Third baseman playing in to keep him from bunting for a base hit right here.
Once again, Moeller having a tough time getting that first one over. He did walk 4 in those 6 innings against the Rangers last week. That one caught the outside corner. Before leaderboard shows you who's got the most infield hits in the American League. No surprise that Ichiro's on top. Got a couple of Rangers that have made this list now. And they hit back-to-back. That one almost brushed the jersey of Bourbon. Brad Mills' first year on the job. Baseball lifer, longtime right-hand man for Terry Francona in Boston.
You know, he's got a little bit of the Bill Verdon look to him.
Yeah, he does.
Former Astros manager. Looks like a Marine sergeant.
I can't hear you.
Remember that little guy? When Jim Knox interviewed him?
Was that his line?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Ooh, good take from Julio. 3-1.
Oh, good hitters count. Got the tying run at third. You got to get a good pitch. Don't be over anxious. Make him throw you a strike. If he doesn't, let Elvis knock him in.
Elvis has been money with men on base all year. Now got the off-speed pitch and just got a piece of it. Smoke will get going from first. 2-1 Houston. Here's payoff pitch. Taken. Ball 4. Elvis coming up.
A bit of bat right there for Julio. Got his rip at an off-speed pitch. Ran the count and then worked the walk.
Bourbon had walked only twice in the first 52 games of the year, which is amazing. I mean, even if you're not a guy with speed, that's an incredibly low total. But now the last dozen games, 7 walks. And if he can keep that up, that's something that Ron Washington would just love.
I think the thing that's happened for Julio is he started to hit. He's regained his confidence. Early in the season when he wasn't hitting, you go up there, you're a little more impatient. You're trying too hard to get a base hit, and you expand the zone a little bit, and you help the pitcher out. Then you start to get your hits. You get a little more comfortable. You get a little more confident. And now you're swinging at pitches that are strikes, and you're a little more confident to take pitches that are close. And because of that, he has been able to work the count and get some walks, in addition to hitting the ball really well, too.
Off speed, and Elvis just kind of blinks at it and lets it go by. That one rings the outside corner. Elvis nodding his head in agreement.
Well, Moeller is not a guy that can afford to make bad pitches within the strike zone, and he's going out of his way not to throw a good pitch to hit. Got a little bit of help right there. One was close to the strike zone.
Once again, Elvis is tempted, but
well, that's the name of his game. Change speeds, make the ball move, hit the corners, keep the ball away from the middle of the plate, keep the hitter off balance.
another take. It's 3-1. He wants no part of Michael Young on deck. So you figure this next one's going to be good.
Elvis generally in this count is very patient. Doesn't swing at pitches out of the strike zone, and a lot of times he'll take the 3-1 pitch. Make the pitcher throw him 2 straight strikes.
If he can't throw a strike here, it's a tie game. He gets the call, 3-2.
It's okay. Did he do it two in a row? It's almost the same pitch he threw him for a strike when it was 3-1 last time up. Then he ripped that ball that Bookman made the nice play on.
The runners will get going. Got him.
Threw him a changeup and had him a little bit out in front of it.
The Rangers leave him loaded. And the Astros still lead 2-1. Without a problem here. Colby Lewis does not have the kind of stuff, quite honestly, that he had 6 days ago against these Astros, but he's persevering. He's down only 2-1. He gets a roller here to third right away. Bourgeois is out. Couple of speedsters here at 9-1 in their order, just like the Rangers have with Bourbon and Andrews. They go with Bourgeois and Bourne.
I think the mark of a good pitcher is when you can go out and pitch effectively, give your team a chance to win on the nights where you don't have pinpoint command and your best stuff. It's easy when a big league pitcher has his best stuff. And Colby's out there battling right now. Got a pretty good pitch count. And he's got a 2-1 deficit to work off of. But he's hanging in there, battling through it.
Rangers had a great chance to grab him the lead, but they left the bases loaded in that bottom of the fourth inning. Give Brian Mueller some credit. Was down to Elvis Andrews 3-1 and battled back to strike him out.
And there's a better curveball. A lot of times a pitcher like Colby may struggle a little bit with his command early, and then the longer the game goes, the better he gets. And you get some men on base, you better get him early because he gets better as the game goes.
Wow.
on.
And there it is, strike three. Two very quick outs. And the fans want Bourne to be run because Kinsler's already been ejected for arguing. We mentioned right off the top tonight, these umpires are a tired bunch. Having to red eye in last night.
That ball's right in the middle of the plate. And it's actually a couple of inches higher than the one that Ian was called out on. Well, that has to be a strike.
Well, tonight Colby had thrown as many pitches through, I guess, 4 innings as he had through 7 innings in that game in Houston a few days ago. That's a really tough pace to keep up, though. I mean, a 100 pitch complete game 2-hitter is tough to just Xerox that. Swinging a pop-up from Keppinger, foul. Looking at the radar here, Tom, if you're interested, since we've got the light rain right now, it's just light green all over from Fort Worth to Arlington, and behind Fort Worth, clear sailing.
Sounds good. Not raining hard enough to worry about it right now. Good pitch.
And Keppinger, who we mentioned earlier, is just a really good contact hitter, able to get a piece. Two out pitch is up and in. Yesterday the Rangers rallied from down 5-1 and got it done.
That would frighten some little kids.
Did you see what happened to Rod Allen, by the way, the Tigers broadcaster?
No.
They brought, I guess it was Star Wars night or something. They brought Chewbacca into the booth and didn't tell him. He was just, you know, standing there talking. Then all of a sudden felt a tap on his shoulder, turned around, and there's Chewbacca, and he freaked out.
He did?
Oh my goodness. Inside, backed up on him. A 2-out walk to Keppinger will bring up Berkman. Rod Allen played for the same team that Colby Lewis did in Japan, the Hiroshima Carp.
Well, after that video of him charging the mound, that little Star Wars creature could have been in deep trouble, boy.
That's one of the great YouTube videos of all time. Rod Allen, who had a brief major league career but played very well in Japan for a while, charged the mound, and the pitcher, let's just say, wanted no part of him. Looked like a Benny Hill routine as they just ran in a serpentine out into center field.
The other team, the whole team didn't want any part of him.
With Sean Casey retired now, Lance Berkman might be taking over in the National League. He's a guy that just chats up everybody at first base. Big smile for everybody.
Well, they can't call him the mayor. What do they call him? The governor?
They could, well, he's the Puma, but they could call him the governor, Governor Puma. Berkman grew up in the Austin area. His dad made him a switch hitter at the ripe old age of 6, because Mr. Berkman's hero was Mickey Mantle, switch hitter himself, of course.
Well, Berkman had a number of Mickey Mantle-like years, too.
Pops it up. And who's going to take it? Whoa, Colby Lewis is going to just step on in there. There was all kinds of indecision.
Colby says, I'll let you guys have it, but when it's in doubt, I'm going to make the catch and get out of this inning.
That's my ERA, fellas, so I'll take that. Halfway through it here tonight in the rain. The Astros lead the Rangers 2-1. #21 brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Michael Young at the plate, and Colby Lewis is trailing Brian Moeller 2-1 tonight. The Rangers' 11-game win streak in jeopardy as we get just past the halfway point of the game. The Rangers came in tonight, Tag, just one game away from being the best team in the major leagues. Right now the Yankees have the best record, but only one game better than the Rangers. The Angels have, as we said, been playing some pretty good ball, though, too. They're not really going away. Michael Young trying to drop it into left center. He does.
Well, you have to play Michael in right center field. He just hits so many balls out there. But when he does hit the ball to left center field, he's got a pretty good chance that it'll fall in because there's not going to be anybody there.
Yeah, there's Bourne shaded over. A lot of green grass for Michael Young in left center.
Off-speed pitch. Moeller does a nice job of changing speeds. He really does keep the hitters off balance with marginal stuff. But that's why he pitches that way. He's not a guy that can just say, here's my fastball, hit it.
Blanco bunting, and Moeller's going to grab it. And that's too bad. Blanco's first at bat in for Kinsler because Kinsler was ejected by home plate umpire Eric Cooper. And Blanco, usually a guy that can fundamentally do everything correctly, but not that time. Moeller's a pretty athletic guy. Well, the last 2 outs of this game have actually been fly balls to the pitcher. Rangers were fortunate that Colby Lewis not only made that catch but hung on to it. That weird looking one to end the top of the 5th. Vlad Guerrero lines it into left. On base for a second time in 2 innings, and it's going to be 2 on, 1 out for the hottest man on the planet, Josh Hamilton. We showed you a baseball card of Josh Hamilton earlier. It had a lot of firsts on it. But Vlad Guerrero talking about home games. Of course, he loves this ballpark, always has, back when he was an Angel.
Yep, this is right where he should be, a Texas Ranger. Ranger fans love him, his teammates love him, and he loves them.
A lot of love for the guy at the plate right now, Josh Hamilton. And a rainbow above us as the Rangers try to rally. It is still raining, but right behind the scoreboard. We tend to overdo metaphors sometimes in the broadcast booth, but the Rangers hoping that on the other side of that, the pot of gold is October baseball. Ripped into right. He's unbelievable. Pence will gobble it up. 1 run is scored. Vladimir Guerrero to third. And Josh Hamilton one more time.
Well, you know, there are times where you can get Josh out occasionally with a changeup. You might be able to jam him occasionally with a fastball. But when he's in this streak, you can't get him out consistently anyway. There's a pitch up and in, a borderline strike at best. And it's not only hit into right field, it's ripped into right field for a hard base hit. First and third, Nelly Cruz now with a chance to hit a fly ball and put the Rangers ahead. But I don't know. I'm running out of things, and so are you, to say about Josh Hamilton.
We'd have to go invest in a thesaurus by Sunday.
Wow.
2-2 tie, and here's Nelly Cruz.
Last time the Astros saw him, it was at the Sunday game. Was that the one he went 5 for 6?
Yep. Yeah, so you're right. I mean, he's actually 8 for his last 8 now against Houston, because that
he
one
struck out his first time
That's
up.
right. I think the Astros have had their fill of Josh. And just to re-rack, I mean, Hamilton, let's put it this way, Tom, coming into this one, had been 1 of 10 lifetime against Moeller. Tonight he's 3 for 3. So kind of shows you that right now he's fairly locked in.
I think Josh is like almost any big league hitter in that when they're really hot, doesn't matter who's pitching.
Popped up from Nelson Cruz. Well, that's too bad. Quintero stays with it. And that'll leave the inning to Justin Smoke. Got a big time RBI guy up there. Runner at third, less than 2 out. But again, you got to tip your hat to Moeller a little bit. He's kind of keeping the Rangers off balance. What's so funny, Vlad?
talking to the third baseman. Never seen the third baseman in his life.
Nope.
That's the quickest smile in baseball right there. Not a good shot for Justin. Had a line shot. Base hit his last time up. Hit it hard. Rangers with runners in scoring position, no one better.
And it wasn't always that way. They've really come on to jump to the top of the list. Well, Smoke lined one for a single. Looked a lot like the one that Josh Hamilton just did a few minutes ago. That was on a 2-0 count last inning. That one tied him up. Moeller's already allowed 8 hits. Remember, he allowed just 1 in 6 innings against the Rangers in Houston.
That's the pitch he threw to Josh that Josh ripped into right field for a base hit. He's just hitting everything they throw up there right now. Any type of pitch, any location of the pitch.
Came right back with it.
Pretty much the same pitch, a little lower maybe.
Justin Smoke's South Carolina Gamecocks are playing right now in that College World Series. TCU a winner today, by the way, beat UCLA. Justin taking it's down in the dirt, and had it gotten by, that's a 3-2 Ranger lead. Two on, two out, a 2-2 tie, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Moeller brings it to Smoke.
Trying to throw it again.
It's too far in that time. Rangers have already stranded 6. Smoke trying to pick up a couple of runners here. Taken. Outside, they're loaded up for Max Ramirez again.
And Max had a good swing last time up. He just got underneath it a little bit, but lofted it far enough to center field to get a sacrifice fly. A chance to put the Rangers ahead right here.
Well, what a pretty shot that is.
That's a postcard.
It sure is. This big, beautiful stadium all filled up tonight.
Good crowds on this homestand. Great baseball on this homestand as fans come out to cheer a winner.
Everybody loves a winner. That's true, but it's, I think, a lot easier to love a team that has so much fun playing the game. That's one of the more endearing things about the 2010 Rangers. Vlad Guerrero commenting on that after the game last night. Oh, he was gunning for that outside corner, didn't quite get it. Rangers left the bases loaded last inning and try not to do that again. It's a good take. Two-one delivery is outside.
A lot of pitches from Moeller. He's jammed 96 pitches into 5 innings.
And no action in that Houston bullpen.
Thank you, Max. Be patient. Get a good pitch. Make a throw you strike.
On 3-1. Oh, he might have helped him out a little bit right there. 3-2.
That's the same pitch he threw him last time up. He threw him a cutter. And I think he might have helped him out, but had a good swing at it. At least he's seen it now. He might see it again right here. Even in that situation, with a go-ahead run at third, 3-2 count, bases loaded, Moeller was not going to throw his pitch down the middle. Not going to throw a pitch without some kind of movement on it. Either a sinker, that one looked like a cutter. This one's liable to be a changeup. That's just the way he pitches. Make it be a strike.
Max trying to think along with him here. Bourbon on deck. Runners will get going. Now they got to come back. We got drama here, obviously, and we'll update you on some other drama. Tampa Bay and Arizona are playing, and the former Ray, Edwin Jackson, has a no-hitter into the 9th for his new team, for Arizona. And we'll keep you posted whether or not he gets it and what's been the year of the no-hitter in the perfect game.
Yeah, that's a nightmare for the manager. He's got 134 pitches. He's going to have the highest pitch total of the year. Trying to get that no-hitter into the 9th. But he's a young, strong guy. He can handle it.
Let's see if Ramirez can handle Moeller. Everything's been away so far. That one is away. 3-2 Rangers.
Well, he saw that same pitch, that cutter on the 3-1 pitch, and fouled it off. And I think having seen it recently allowed him to look at it carefully and take it. Work the walk. Nice job. Good at bats for Max. That's the one he fouled off. Borderline pitch. And here's ball 4. A little bit more outside. Great job by Max.
Just kept fading, and Max just watched it all the way into the glove. You saw the Dallas native Chris Sampson getting ready in the bullpen. Now the Rangers, who have been looking for that big break it open base hit all night. Here is Bourbon. The walks have been collected from the bottom third of the order. Moeller has pitched very well to Andrus, Young, Kinsler, Guerrero, Hamilton, and Cruz. Smoke, Ramirez, and Bourbon, bottom of the order, being pitched to real carefully.
He just doesn't want to throw a strike.
Well, and credit to the Rangers. So many years, they just wanted to go up there hacking. And they are a very discerning group right now. There's a take, 3-0.
Oh, we got to take a couple right here. One at least, and then look for your pitch.
Now it is 3-1. Moeller in danger of walking 4 Rangers for the second straight start.
Now 3-1. If that's the pitch you're looking for right there, that pitch is right down the middle of the plate. If you get that 3-1 with the bases loaded, let it go ripping.
He will take strike 2 instead.
That's not a bad. That's a good pitch to take right there. That one wasn't down the middle. That was sinking down and away. If it's a strike, and it's close to being a strike, right on the corner, that's one you take. Try to make him do that 2 times in a row. You have to swing now. You didn't have to swing when it's 3-1 though.
On 3-2. Here it comes. That ball slashed in the left. But right there is Bourgeois. The Rangers leave him loaded for the second straight inning. But they score twice in this inning and take a 3-2 lead. by Ozarka and State Farm, part of the Viva Los Rangers promotion. 972 Rangers or TexasRangers.com. 2 ways to get your tickets. And playing in a light, steady rain, the Rangers have overtaken Houston by that 3-2 score now, even though the Rangers have stranded 9. Well, Colby Lewis is going to have to face a tough part of this Houston order. It starts with Carlos Lee and Hunter Pence. Those 2 guys, Tom, just those 2 have exactly half of the Astros home run total, 21 out of 42. They have some line drive hitters and some speedsters up and down the rest of the lineup, but the guys that have hit him out are pretty much just Lee and Pence. When Berkman's on, he can hit him out too, but it's not been that kind of year for Berkman. That one's down, and updating that developing story as Edwin Jackson goes back to Tampa Bay and is trying to get that no-hitter accomplished. What is it with Tampa Bay always getting no-hit in perfect games? It's 2 out in the 9th. Arizona leading 1-0. Jackson's got to be at least 145 pitches in that game, I would think. He's walked, I believe, 8 now. Smashed into left field. Back goes Hamilton. He'll turn and play it off the wall. And play it well off the wall. And Lee is going to scamper into second base with a double. Now Carlos Lee is 2 for 3. And here come the Astros again. We say hi again to Julie Dobbs.
Yes, hey Josh, I'm here with 2 very tall guests, a couple of superstars from the Baylor men's basketball team. This is Ladarius Dunn. I hear that you pitched the first pitch of the game. Tell me a little bit about that. It might not have made it quite all the way.
I'm just not used to playing with a ball that small, throwing a ball that small. But anyway, I think I did a great job of just, going out there and just having the confidence. I was a little nervous being in front of the crowd, but I think I did a great job of just getting it there.
Maybe the mound threw you off a little bit?
Yes, being on the 3-foot mound and having to throw down, I think that played a main part in it.
And Quincy AC, coming off of the best Baylor basketball team's season in the history of the school, has to be a pretty fun summer for y'all celebrating, but also some high expectations for the upcoming season.
Yeah, it is. Very high expectations. We're working real hard, pushing each other every day, because we know what it feels like to be there, and we don't want the sour feeling going home anymore. So we're working real hard.
Sounds good. The Rangers working very hard. We've got, as you can see, a couple of Ranger fans here. Who's your favorite player out here?
The Rangers. The Rangers.
Good answer. The whole team's their favorite player. Josh, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Julie, thank you very much. Hunter Pence with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And Edwin Jackson, by the way, has done it. He has no-hit the Tampa Bay Rays, the team that he used to pitch for. 149 pitches. How old school is that? He walked a man in the 9th and ended up with 8 for the game, but
yeah, the thing about that no-hitter was that's a 1-0 game. That game's on the line with every pitch too, not just the no-hitter.
in Tampa Bay now, which has been the victim of both a perfect game and a no-hitter this year and a perfect game last year, they might be falling to 3 games out of first. That's down too low to Pence. Yeah, the Yankees with a chance to open things up a little bit in that AL East.
Colby's at 101 pitches right now. And it's been a struggle for him today. Struggle with his command.
The Rangers bullpen is busy. That ball lined. And here are the Astros tying it up. Hamilton gets it back in, but only after the second double of the inning. Lee and Pence go back to back. Not only is it a problem that Colby Lewis doesn't have his finest stuff tonight, but the Rangers, having left the bases loaded twice now, kind of paying for that in the 3-3 game.
Yeah, the Rangers were really one hit away from breaking the game open a little bit, and as it is now, they've got a man. Astros have a man on second with nobody out in a tie game.
Darren O'Day, who hasn't pitched in a week, is starting to loosen in that Ranger bullpen, and this is a rare one for Colby Lewis. He came in with the best opposing batting average in the American League. But tonight the Astros have 8 hits already.
I mentioned it earlier, 5 hits or less in 11 of his 14 starts. So it is rare when he has a start where they have the opposing team has more hits than he pitches innings.
So he's about to face Blum and Johnson, who are a combined 4 for 4 against him tonight. So this is not about to get easier. Remember, Lewis had a complete game, a 2-hitter, when he faced the Astros last week and did not even get to these 103 pitches for the whole game. There's number 104, and it's high. Houston beat San Francisco yesterday, but still this is a team that's lost 9 out of 12. They just can't get it over now. 3-0. Remember, he had to sit for a while as the Rangers were busy sending 8 to the plate in that 5th inning. Sometimes that'll take the sharpness away from you, that long wait. Colby doesn't have a lot of time to get it back, though, here. Houston started this year 0-8. They were actually 17-34 at the end of May. They've been a 500 team since then. A swing on 3-1 and headed towards the crowd. Boy, and again, what a crowd turning out on a humid, threat of rain kind of night. Fireworks after the game. And the home team with an 11-game win streak intact. That'll get the Metroplex buzzing. Probably a character building kind of thing right now, in that none of these, well, not too many anyway, of these wins have come that easily of late. The Rangers really struggled in 2 of those 3 with the Pirates before coming back and winning. They're in a tussle with these Astros here tonight. That ball shot into right field. Nelly Cruz can't get there. Bourbon can't get it either. It came out of his glove. And the throw back into the infield is wild. Pence will score to make it 4-3.
Back-to-back-to-back doubles.
And Blum 3 for 3 against Colby Lewis tonight. That was another one where you had a bunch of guys, or at least a couple in that instance, surrounding it. And you just weren't sure exactly what was going to happen. Cruz had a beat on it, so did Bourbon.
It's a 3rd straight night there's been a ball pretty much exactly like this, where they've run together like that.
Bourbon had it in the heel of his glove, but it fell out. That's going to be it for Colby Lewis. He gives up 9 hits tonight after giving up just 2 in 9 innings to this same Houston team last week. Darren O'Day is coming in. The Astros have the lead again, 4-3. mission of the foundation, Rangers Foundation, providing thousands of children in the Metroplex with equipment and uniforms to play baseball. Very successful night. We thank Park Place. Now we'll see if the Rangers can hold off the Astros here. Darren O'Day will sling one inside in a light rain. This is Chris Johnson at the plate. He's 2 for 2 with 2 batted in. And O'Day having his not predictably stellar season here. 1.91 ERA. Ranger fans saw plenty of that last year too. And you just wonder how sharp he's going to be, Tag, simply because he hasn't pitched in a while.
I think the rest, for the bullpen, when they can get that kind of rest middle of the season like this, is just going to make them stronger at the end of the season. They threw a lot of games over a month stretch there. It seemed like they were out there almost every other day. So I think getting a week off will be good for Darren. Neftali had a stretch where he got almost a week off. That's just the way the ebb and flow of the season goes for the bullpen. And you have to do whatever you can do between appearances to stay sharp. They throw a lot in the outfield, play catch before the game, work on their pitches. And so that shouldn't be a problem.
O'Day brings a 2-1. That's belted foul. The runner on base, the responsibility of Colby Lewis. It looked like Colby was settling into a decent enough groove last inning. Not a single ball hit out of the infield, but then here in the 6th, 3 straight doubles. We just kind of took it for granted that Colby Lewis is going to give you 7 innings every time, no matter what. But tonight it's only 5. Did he? No. 3-2.
I think he stopped in time, just barely.
The former Florida Gator, Darren O'Day, for the rookie Johnson. That ball poked up in the air near Elvis Andrus. He's been catching everything on this homestand. He's got it. Yeah, O'Day last year, his ERA was 1.94, and you think, well, you can't ask for any better than that. And sure enough, this year it's at 1.91. O'Day was a closer for the Gators' 2005 College World Series team. Had to walk on to make that team in the first place, and he started tinkering with that sidearm delivery. Still didn't figure he'd make it to the big leagues. He graduated with his degree in animal biology. He's going to become a veterinarian, but those plans are on hold. Boy, Quintero way out in front. Well, the Rangers may not have the longest win streak if they can't rally. You got, well, obviously, if it ends, they go to an L1. The White Sox won today. They're at a +10. Quintero bunting. You don't expect that from the catcher. Oh, and O'Day throws it away. It's picked up. Blanco fires it home, and he throws it away. And thankfully, something you just almost never see regarding the Rangers in 2010, but that was just completely wheels off at every corner.
Well, Darren had an easy shot at first base. There's a bad bunt by Quintana. And then it looked like Blanco had a shot at home with a good, accurate throw. And his throw went wild. Picked it up barehanded, a good throw. He's out at the plate.
That's going to be an error on O'Day and an error on Blanco.
Yeah, it's too bad because even after the error on Quintana, you could have gotten the lead runner at the plate. Saved a run.
Bourgeois takes a strike. And yeah, the Rangers, who had played an errorless game to that point. Suddenly made 2 errors in about 4 seconds. O'Day quickly gets ahead of this number 9 hitter. Well, the element of surprise, even though it wasn't a great bunt, I mean, in the end, you can't quarrel with the results. Darren O'Day had retired 20 batters in a row before that, and for that streak to end basically at his own consequence like that, boy, that's tough. That one's taken high. And the key here, obviously, is just to make sure it doesn't slip away. We said that yesterday when the Pirates built that 5-1 lead and they were pressing to kick it up from there. The Rangers stayed within a yodel of it, and they did come back and win. Got him. And not real close. Well, look how much bend that ball has. It starts out looking like it's going to hit him, then it ends up way on the other side of the batter's box.
Well, that pitch has gotten Darren a lot of outs over the last couple of years, and after they miss that, a lot of times he'll throw the high fastball a little bit out of the strike zone and get him to chase that as well.
A 3-run top of the 6th inning after the Rangers scratched and clawed for 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Well, the Rangers had the leadoff man on in the 1st and in the 2nd and didn't score. Left the bases loaded in the 4th and in the 5th. This Ranger bullpen over the last 5 weeks has an ERA in the mid-2s. O'Day, Oliver, Ogando, those are just the guys that start with O. And it all sets up for Neftali Feliz at the end. A little bit outside. And if the Rangers rally, this would be one of those character builders. They'll have done it without Kinsler, who got ejected early tonight. They'll have had to rally again. Well, they keeps going for that outside corner, but not quite getting it there. The speedy leadoff man, Mr. Bourne. 0 for 3 so far. Knocks it back to the net. Bourne was the Astros team MVP last year. 61 steals. Then he won his first Gold Glove. Andrews been covering, he would have had a shot right there, but he was nowhere near. On 3-2 with 2 out. Boy, this has been about a 35-36 pitch inning between Lewis and O'Day. Colby did strike out 4 tonight, now has 94 for the year. And again, the 3-2 pitch. Towards short, just a little floater that Elvis Andrus will grab. But a 3-run top of the 6th. The Astros back on top 5-3. $25,000. You can register at most any North Texas Sonic restaurant. Top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th, the Rangers, and kind of a sloppy one tonight, trailing 5-3. The 11-game win streak in jeopardy, second longest win streak in the history of the franchise. Chris Sampson's going to take over for Brian Moeller. This is a guy that way back in 1999 was drafted as a shortstop. He washed out after a year in A-ball, became an assistant coach up at Collin County Community College in Plano. Then 3 years later, he pitches out of necessity in an intra-squad game, does well. Head coach says, go get yourself a tryout as a pitcher with that Astros team that drafted you way back when. Well, Sampson gets the tryout and presses at it. Pitches 4 years in the minors, and voila. Nice little story, and he's going to try to keep this 5-3 lead here. Colby Lewis online for what would be his 5th loss of the year if the Rangers can rally. But what you've really kind of come to know and love about your Rangers is that they don't exactly roll over. Got 12 outs left to them tonight. That ball banged into center field as if on cue.
Rangers have had the leadoff man on in 5 out of 6 innings. Only inning where they didn't was the 3rd inning.
No,
the only thing they haven't done, Josh, is get that one big hit with the bases loaded yet.
Yeah, I was going to say the big bases clearing double or something like that is the missing component tonight.
But a long ball can erase that problem.
More action behind Sampson in the bullpen. Probably just getting ready for when Josh Hamilton comes up. Try to get a lefty in there.
Yeah, Chassin is warming up. He's the one that served up the game winner to Josh in Houston.
Sampson's done a nice job with Young. Trust us, that is Chassin behind the cleverly placed towels. Young, a career 0 for 5 against Sampson, grounding out every time. The only Ranger with a home run in the pass against Sampson was, you guessed it, Josh Hamilton. Well, those are nice round numbers for Michael Young now, huh? 320 batting average, 10 homers, 50 runs batted in. We're not quite to the halfway point of the season yet.
The other nice number he's got is 23 doubles to go along with it.
Yeah, if Michael had a 50 double, 20 homer, 100 RBI season and kept hitting around 320, there would be no complaints. Andrews already with a stolen base tonight, so they will keep him close. Hard hit ball. 5-4-3 double play. There's Sampson getting Young to hit the ball on the ground again. Two quick outs with that, and Blanco coming up. The Astros turned 4 double plays to help win a game yesterday against San Francisco. And as we said, this is not exactly the infield they thought they'd be getting it done with this year. Johnson, Blum, Keppinger. They knew Berkman at first base, but those other 3 guys, not necessarily what they had thought. Tomorrow, don't forget, it's a 2:05 game. C.J. Wilson on the mound. Blanco takes one into right field, a base hit. Only playing because Kinsler got ejected, and now he's on to give Vlad Guerrero a chance to tie the game.
Well, every time Vlad is coming up in a situation like this, you're glad he gets to hit with a man on rather than leading off an inning. Give him a chance to do some damage with someone on base.
Vlad Guerrero with triple-digit RBI total 7 times in his career. Should be a Hall of Fame career. And heading towards an 8th such season. 59 batted in already. That little girl's going to be in pictures.
She's going to throw it in a minute.
High fly ball from Vladdy, but it will not get out. It's way up there. Center fielder's ball. And the Rangers are now stranded 10. End of 6. Houston by 2. See what's new from AT&T. Visit AT&T for details. Rangers make a pitching change as we get to the back third of the ball game. This will be a challenge tonight to get that win streak along to a dozen. One thing you can say about the Rangers bullpen, whoever comes out there, you expect a 0. And Chris Ray will try to put one of those up there on the board right now. 2, 3, 4 in the order coming up for the Stros.
Well, the Ranger bullpen has put a lot of zeros up there. There's no doubt about that. Chris Ray's done his share. Opponents are only hitting 189 against him. 30 2/3 innings.
It's a night where we have seen a no-hitter in the majors yet again. Edwin Jackson of Arizona. And the Rangers bullpen now. We'll see if they can fashion something like that. Give the hitters a chance to come back. Again, the Rangers entered action tonight with a 4.5 game lead with an 18-4 month of June. Slowly hit ground ball. Blanco will take care of it. Now tomorrow we mentioned C.J. Wilson will pitch. It's a 2 o'clock game. The first 20,000 fans 14 and older receive a Fiesta Chips and Dip platter. Reckless Kelly plays post-game, presented by Budweiser. Buy in advance. Tickets going fast. You might want to log on right now at TexasRangers.com. We hope to see you here. Well, tonight for Colby Lewis, Tom, 5 innings and then into the 6th. He allowed those 3 doubles in the 6th inning. He gives up the 5 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Needed 109 pitches to get through 5. And remember, last time against the Astros, it was 100 pitches to get through 9.
Well, Colby battled today, but he didn't have command of his breaking balls like he did in Houston. Left some out over the plate, and the Astro hitters in a couple of situations took advantage of that.
Berkman sends one deep. That ball's going to fly. Lance Berkman up on the hill. And there goes that proposed bullpen no-hitter.
Berkman has missed some pitches to hit today, but he didn't miss that one.
He had that incredible scrum for possession of that baseball, and then whoever got it just threw it back. You wonder why there was a scrum. Yeah, Berkman, when he's going right, does this a lot, but that's only his 7th all year.
That ball's right in the center square, too.
A 422-foot home run, we're told. And Carlos Lee will take a slider outside. That's more than halfway up on that hill, it looked like. Ripped. Fair. Michael Young couldn't get it. Well, the guys that are paid to hit for extra bases are doing that now. Berkman and Carlos Lee.
3 straight hits for Carlos Lee. He led off the 4th with a single, led off the 6th with a double, scored in both innings. Line shot double in that at bat down the left field line.
Well, the Astros put a whole bunch of runs on the board just last night against the Giants. They're starting to find their stride, maybe.
Yeah, they were going bad there, but they beat the Giants 2 straight. Any team in the course of the season, whether you're a really good team or a really bad team, you're going to have some stretches where you put together some wins. Didn't look like the Astros could do that when the Rangers were in Houston, but they have turned it around a little bit.
Also, it's gotten a little bit tougher now. The Rangers trail 6-3 with 9 outs to go. And again, the big issue tonight, the Rangers stranding 10 through 6. Again, the big news away from here tonight, Edwin Jackson's no-hitter. The 267th Major League Baseball no-hitter. And that set a record for most pitches in a no-hitter, by the way, Tom, by 11. The old record was Randy Johnson, 138. Jackson tonight, 149.
Most pitches in a no-hitter, huh?
Yep.
Very interesting.
Is that your Artie Johnson impression right there?
No, I wasn't thinking of that. I would have thought that there would have been no-hitters with more pitches than that. But I guess, he had no hits, but he had 8 walks, and that's pretty much what it adds up to, I guess, 150 pitches. That makes sense.
4 no-hitters now before the All-Star game. Only other season that ever happened was 1990. Got him in a fastball count and did not throw him a fastball. 3-2. Again, Edwin Jackson, who pitched for the Rays from 06 through 08, goes back to Tampa Bay and gives the Rays another 0-hit game, their second of the year. Back to the mound, and Reyes got it. And he's got the runner trapped. He'll just run at him. All right, now here we go. And Penn's taking off for second. They'll move Lee back. And they got to tag him there. There you go.
On that kind of a play, you want to get the runner and make the hitter stay at first base. And what Chris did is he did it right. He ran at him, but he threw the ball too soon. You got to keep running at him, make him go back to second, make one throw and tag him, and then Pence has to stay at first base. Watch. He's going to run. Don't throw it now. Keep running. He threw it too soon. Now Lee breaks for third, and Pence goes to second. So you get the out, but you want to get the out and make the hitter stay at first base. And that's a frequent mistake by a fielder, in that case a pitcher, throwing the ball too soon.
Ron Washington is out here to talk to the second base umpire, the crew chief Mike Riley. Lee just kept jogging. I mean, he was never even near second base. I didn't see Pence ever leave second himself. Washington satisfied with the explanation, and with 2 out, Jeff Blum will be the hitter. Blum came in with a .220 batting average. He is 3 for 3 tonight. He's been a big part of why the Astros are ahead. And go back to that play again. Watch Lee just kind of veer off. Now, Ray, so far, 7 balls and 7 strikes, so not completely harnessing his stuff quite yet. Another one up too high. Padres beat the Marlins tonight 3-0. San Diego continues to be some kind of story. That's the one non-intra-league game tonight. San Diego at Florida. Nationals and the Orioles are knotted up 6-6 in the 8th. Baltimore having some kind of season to forget at 20-52. They're going to just go ahead and put on Blum now. Well, not a bad night for him, on base 4 times. And they'll face the rookie Johnson, who's got 2 runs batted in tonight.
Just going to the righty-righty matchup right here.
Royals lead the Cardinals 3-0. That game's in the 8th. And yes, the Rockies and Angels are underway.
Oswaldo Navarro will run for Blum at first base.
Yep, he was just brought up from AAA along with that other batch of new players they dipped down and got. So yeah, Navarro now at first, Pence now at second. And yeah, the Rockies and the Angels, Tom, underway. They're scoreless into the second inning in LA tonight. Pirates and the A's are tied 2-2 after just 1 inning. And that game that, again, should have been in Toronto and would have really been something had this happened. Roy Halladay against the Blue Jays shuts out the Blue Jays. 9-0. And the Phillies trying to get closer in that NL East. A broken bat, base hit. And that intentional walk. Not exactly working. A 3 RBI night for Chris Johnson. He had 3 runs batted in all season, having been up for a week. 3 tonight, and the Astros are leading the Rangers 7-3. Blum and Johnson, guys that hardly ever play, batting 6th and 7th. They've combined to go 6 for 7 tonight. Mike Maddox out to the mound to talk to Chris Ray. And this is something we just haven't seen in a real long time, Tom. The Rangers bullpen not putting up zeros. So 3 runs in the 6th inning. Again, that was pretty much after Colby Lewis had already been hit around a little bit. But with O'Day on the mound, there was some damage. Now 2 runs against Ray. And Matt Harrison getting loose. It's been a 20-pitch inning for Ray. White Sox shut out the Cubs earlier today, 6-0. And with that, they've got the 10-game win streak that the Rangers had a couple days ago. They move a game closer to the Tigers, too, because the Tigers lost in Atlanta 3-1. Atlanta hanging on in first place in that NL East. But the Mets got another win. They beat the Twins 5-2. How about that? Both the Twins and the Tigers lose. The White Sox win again. The White Sox are 1 back in the loss column now.
Amazing what a 10-game winning streak can do for the standings.
Quintero down the right field line. And Nelly Cruz, well, he's got it.
Nice play.
He scooped it right before it hit the wall. That's a very nice play to get the Rangers off the field into the 7th inning stretch. They got some major construction to do on this one, trailing by 4. The Rangers had a 3-2 lead. They had to rally for that. But now it is 7-3 Houston tonight. And some changes for the Astros as we get on to the bottom of the 7th inning. Navarro stays in the game to play short. And out on the mound is Gustavo Chacín, the former Toronto Blue Jay. He's going to open up with, only the hottest hitter in baseball here. Josh Hamilton smiling behind him there on the scoreboard.
Well, Chacín was on the mound in the game Sunday at Houston when Josh was up. Tie game. Man in scoring position and got the base hit to bring in the go-ahead run.
He's showing bunt. You had the third baseman playing way back, so
why not?
That's a good way to get to 4 for 4. He is 8 for his last 8 against these Astros, going back to that game you just talked about.
Got a 4-run deficit. You need base runners, leadoff hitter.
Ball and a strike now to Josh. That batting average has crawled all the way up into the 350s. It is hard to remember. I would say around game 15, game 16 of the season, Josh was hitting .230 with 6 runs batted in. Crowd just announced at 43,457. Trying to get behind the Rangers and will them to a comeback win. Been quite a ride, the 11-game win streak that included a record 8 straight on the road. In their last 8 ball games, the Rangers have averaged 7 runs. They'll need just a little bit more than 7 tonight. It's a good take, 3-2. Hamilton 14 for his last 18.
And as a pitcher, you can't lose track of the fact that you have a 4-run lead right here. It's not a 1-run ball game. Pitching Josh very carefully, which is a smart thing to do. But with a 4-run lead, you want to go right after him.
That's impressive right there. Hamilton was hitting better than 500 for the month of June. And he has struck out.
He had 8 straight hits against the Astros. One of them was off Chacín to win the game Sunday. So if you have to make an out, that's the time to make one. Have to get a hit. Get it with a man in scoring position in a tie game.
Chacín's got that little hesitation in his delivery. It's a bit unusual. Back from some arm surgery and trying to emerge as part of what the Astros are putting together in the bullpen. Probably a nice way to break back in. The Astros obviously are a team that's going to have to build. They know they're not going anywhere right now. Brad Mills is in it for the long haul. Brad Mills' son is Bo Mills, Indians' #1 pick in 2007. Mills was considered I guess a bit of a long shot candidate for this job. He had to beat out the likes of Dave Clark, who's still with the team. I talked about bringing Phil Garner back. There was Ned Yost, Bob Melvin, Tim Bogar, Al Padrique, some of the other guys they considered. Boy, now Nelly Cruz down on strikes. What a frustrating last few innings here. Some other scores we failed to get to earlier. The Brewers leading the Mariners at 6-3 in the 9th. Yankees and Dodgers are 1-1 in the 2nd inning. Joe Torre against the Yankees now. Red Sox lead the Giants 3-0 on a Kevin Youkilis first inning home run in San Francisco. And the Indians are reeling again. They've lost 6 straight. The Reds beat them up 10-3. Scott Rowland having quite a year. 16 home runs. That ball rolled foul by Smoke.
Number of shutouts in baseball. San Diego shut out Florida. White Sox shut out the Cubs. Philadelphia shut out Toronto. Edwin Jackson shut out Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he did.
And Zach Greinke is in the process of shutting out St. Louis.
High pop foul from Smoke. The Angels are getting shut out too, but that's only in the second inning, and it's simply 0-0 against Colorado. The Rockies certainly aren't out of it in the NL West. You got 4 teams bunched within 4 games of each other in the NL West. Another foul from Justin. Looks like a 2-team race in the NL Central. The Cardinals and Reds have been jockeying back and forth for a while. 3-team race right now in the NL East. Atlanta, New York, and Philly started the day within 1 in the loss column of each other. And a real good race all of a sudden in the AL Central. 1 game in the loss column separating Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago. That ball wrapped into left field, into the alley. And Smoke heading towards second base is in with a double.
A couple of hard hit balls for Justin. One left-handed, one right-handed.
Including the fielder's choice, on which he reached in the second inning. He's been on base 4 times tonight. And Quintero out to talk to Chacín. Got Max Ramirez coming up, and a lefty on deck in Bourbon. Not a lot of shake, rattle, and roll here for these fans. Even though the Rangers have scored 3 runs, 2 of those 3 came on a bases-loaded walk and on a sac fly. Ramirez has the bases-loaded walk and the sac fly. And again, Tag, it's tough not to look back to that 4th inning and the 5th inning. And the Rangers left the bases loaded and could not quite pull away.
Yeah, Brian Moeller battled today through 5 innings, threw a lot of pitches, had a lot of base runners. But one thing he did, he limited the Ranger damage and kept away from the big hit with men in scoring position.
The mystery reliever out there, we're told, is Lopez. Right now it's Chacín, who followed Sampson, who followed Moeller. I believe it has finally stopped raining, too. That light drizzle is tapered. Max Ramirez works that count from 0-2 to 2-2.
The Rangers need the long ball right here.
Just thinking that the Rangers have the fireworks show set for after the game. We'll see plenty of fireworks soon enough, but
one run here makes the 8th and 9th a lot more interesting, so go for it, Max.
Well, he'll take outside instead. It's a 22-pitch inning for Chacín. Ramirez cannot come through. We are at the end of 7. Looking dicey for the win streak right now. 7-3 Astros. Captain all gussied up. The Rangers will go to the bullpen here again. Matt Harrison will take over. Darren O'Day not at his sharpest. Chris Ray, same story. And both guys will bounce back. And it's not like they were brutal or anything. They just didn't put up zeros. Matt Harrison, who started in the rotation and now in the Ranger bullpen. We could see him make a start Tuesday possibly. And the Rangers go to Anaheim. As he gets set, we'll take you to our Honda flashback moment of the game. ShopHonda.com. Little Ranger defense from Nelly Cruz.
That's a tough play against that wall. There's not much room between the foul line and the wall. And when you're going full speed, even though there's padding there, that's still a dangerous play. And Nelly didn't shy away at all. Put his glove out, caught it, and took the blow.
Couple of speedsters for Harrison to deal with here. Bourgeois and Bourne will be the first 2 batters in the top of the 8th. The Rangers have stranded 11 tonight. They've fallen behind 2-0 and chipped back to make it 2-1 after 4. They took a brief lead 3-2 after 5. Then they let it get away with 3 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. A running bunt attempt, and he went too far. 1-2. He bunted.
Almost ran right into him, bunted it with his head.
Yeah.
I'm watching the World Cup too much.
That is outside. 2-2. Got my Portugal jersey today to go with my U.S. T-shirt.
I saw that.
Yeah. Got to admit, I spent more on my Portugal than I did on my U.S., but
no, just a matter of, you know, how you allocate your finances.
I guess. I'm still rooting for the U.S., of course, but
what kind of team does Portugal have this year?
the kind that makes the round of 16, Tag.
That's pretty good.
Got a bunch of guys that live next to Spain. How's that? They're fast. They're good. Smoke's got to get to the bag here, and he will, barely in time to get Bourgeois.
He got down the line quick. Close play, and Justin got back almost at the same time that the runner got there.
Now Smoke's got to figure out exactly where he's going. A pretty easy way to get spiked right there, too.
Well, he had to get there because Matt was not going to be able to beat Bourgeois to the base for sure. Well, Justin was the only one that was going to get back in time to make that play.
We had mentioned there was conjecture that Harrison might be considered for the Tuesday appearance. One thing that the Rangers could do and apparently will do is just with the off day just move everybody up, and it'll be 4 days rest for everybody. So yeah, Feldman for that opener. Been a lot of back and forth conversation about which way to go on all of that. To third and off the glove of Michael Young, allowing the very fast Michael Bourne to reach. It's a tough chance, but again, they're just overall have been sharper ball games over the last 2 weeks for these Rangers in this one.
And that's, as a left-hand hitter with speed who can bunt, this is what you're trying to do. You want the third baseman to play in, which he has to do to take the bunt away. And then when you slash the ball like that with a little bit on it, it's pretty tough for the third baseman to react to that ball.
They're going to score that an error on Michael Young.
That's a tough error. When you're playing that close and the guy hits it that hard, you don't have time to react, really. The ball shot by him. It wasn't like it was right at him. Well, I'm Bourne. I'm going to be a little upset that that was ruled an error.
Keppinger, the batter, 0 for 3 with a walk. One thing that has really not happened for the Rangers tonight, and that includes Colby Lewis right off the jump. There's just not been a lot of 0-1s and 0-2s. Always tougher to pitch from behind. That ball is going to be blooped down the right field line, and it is barely foul. Good news so far tonight. It's another 3-hit game for Josh Hamilton. That hit streak is alive and well, thriving at 19. A couple more hits for Smoke, a couple runs batted in for Ramirez, a couple of hits for Michael Young, and 2 more for Andrews. But yet Kinsler ejected early. Colby Lewis not himself really tonight. And again, on a night that just has kind of crawled along, the Rangers have stranded 11. And they've watched the Astros come up with the big hits. Runner goes. And that is foul down near third this time. The Angels have taken a 1-0 lead on the Rockies. That's in the third. And again, it will be a challenging 3 games. It's a very short road trip, obviously, coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the Rangers will get to test their mettle against a team that you know is going to be with them all the way here. The Rangers will be in first place when they get there, but we just don't know by how many games. Another foul by Keppinger.
Or the Rangers going with Colby, Scott, and CJ in Anaheim. That means they've got an extra man in the bullpen. And when you looked out at the bullpen when the game started, you saw Matt Harrison out there. Matt's pitching tonight. Dustin Nippert was also out there. And that gives the Rangers 8 guys in the bullpen for a while until they need that 5th starter. After the off day on Monday, there's no off days before the All-Star break. It's 12 straight games, so you'll need the 5th starter a couple of times in there. But in the meantime, got an extra guy out there in the bullpen.
Well, Keppinger just keeps fouling him here. Harrison still waiting for the sign that he wants. Just can't find the one to polish off Keppinger.
Give that man a contract.
Fans are having a ball tonight, even though they've been rained on and the Astros are winning. I'm pumped up for those fireworks coming up. A double play would probably pump everybody up too here. Runner is finally going, and another foul ball. That's so frustrating for the pitcher. You're making your pitches, but a lot of running around for Bourne here too.
That might keep Bourne from trying to steal.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. There's been a whole bunch of tosses to first, too. In the air, center field. He just wore him down. That brings up Berkman, who's got the only home run of the game. The Astros not a team that hits a lot of home runs, but Berkman's certainly a guy that has it in him to do it. And he did do it off of Chris Wright.
The Rangers have handled Berkman pretty well in the series up until that home run. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Didn't do a lot of damage in Houston either.
When you think about it, for these Astros in 1984, their first baseman was Enos Cabell, and since then they pretty much only had 3 others. They had Glenn Davis from 85 through 90. They had Bagwell 91 through 05, and now Berkman 2006 on. That's some staying power from your first baseman there. Berkman's numbers were down across the board last year from previous seasons. Trying to bounce back here in 2010. But he's one of those guys that when his numbers are down, Tag, I mean, you know, it's still 25 homers, 80 batted in, 400 on base percentage. That doesn't stink. Runner goes, they're pitching out. Ramirez fires it down, and even with the pitch out, they can't get him.
Had no chance. Johnny Bench couldn't have thrown him out. He had such a good jump.
Bourne, who leads the National League in steals, gets number 22.
He had to work for that stolen base. He had to go towards second about 15 times before he finally stole the base with Keppinger up there and all those foul balls.
Wave and a miss, 2-2.
Good fastball by Matt, 94 miles an hour, a little bit up.
So the Rangers in the bottom of the 8th inning are going to have Bourbon and Andrus and Young. If they can get it cranked up, soon after that you got Guerrero and Hamilton. So it's all about holding them here and getting a couple of base runners for the big boys. Instead it goes to 3-2 on Berkman. Big crowd, and you're hoping the Rangers can reward them. It is now close to 24 pitches in the inning, and you know, we said it pretty much as soon as Darren O'Day came in the game, Tom. The bullpen has been just so automatic, and it's the kind of game where if you just keep doing what they've been doing, just throw up those zeros, you give the offense a chance to rally. But O'Day, Ray, and now Harrison just not at their best.
Yeah, Darren actually threw the ball fine. The thing that hurt Darren was the bunt by Quintero back to the mound that he made the errant throw to first. Other than that, he threw the ball pretty well tonight. A couple pop-ups and a strikeout. Other than that,
that one drifting outside to Lee, who's had a big night. 3 for his last 3. To El Caballo. Bourne was dancing around off second, not going anywhere. 2-0.
Well, this is probably the kind of a game where Ron Washington was hoping that Matt would come in and have a couple of quick innings and pitch 2 innings so he didn't have to use anybody else in the bullpen. But at least 6-pitch inning is probably going to keep that from happening.
Hunter Pence on deck. And the Rangers will scramble to get that bullpen ready.
Alexia Gondo is going to start throwing out there.
Inside corner for a strike. Again, it's a day game tomorrow. C.J. Wilson, who's pitched so well here at home, against Josh Banks, just brought up from AAA. Astros had to DL Felipe Paulino. They lost him. Mike Maddox out to the mound. The crowd's starting to get a bit restless, and I mean, obviously, you're going to have one game that doesn't go exactly right over a stretch of 12. The Rangers had won 11 straight coming in tonight, but this looks like that game where all the elements that were there earlier, all the clutch hits, all the defense, all the first pitch strikes, that's just not here tonight. That 4th of July holiday weekend, it'll be the Rangers and the Red Hot White Sox. That's a Friday night postgame fireworks show. Rock and roll patriotic music. Saturday night, the first 20,000 fans get a Dr. Pepper and Tom Thumb Rangers patriotic cap. And on the 4th of July, post-game Independence Day fireworks. Get your tickets in advance. They're going fast. TexasRangers.com. That kind of sums it up right there. You got a guy all rangered up. He loves his team. It's just been that kind of night. I'll see if Harrison can take care of the Arlington native Hunter Pence. That's a good start. Colby Lewis had himself a 10-pitch first inning. But it seems like every inning since then, no matter who's been on the mound, it's been between 25 and 35 pitches. There have been 2 walks and an error in this inning. Obviously, the inning that really hurt, that 6th inning when the Astros opened up with 3 consecutive doubles. Well, we mentioned the Rangers will have Bourbon, Andrus, and Young when the 8th inning begins, the bottom of it. We'll see if the Astros stay with Chacin. Another foul.
We'll run Matt's pitch count up to 32 pitches this inning. Ideally, Ron, I think, would like to have had Ogando not pitch tonight, but he's going to have to pitch the 9th for sure.
If not, come on here in the 8th.
To put Ogando's streak on the line. 3 straight appearances, 3 straight wins.
Well, this would be an all-timer if he would go 4-0. Because the Rangers will have had to have rallied big time. The 1-2 pitch on the ground to third, and Michael's got it this time. The 5-4 fielder's choice, and the Rangers coming up in the bottom of the 8th. Rangers have work to do in the bottom of the 8th inning, trailing 7-3. Gustavo Chacin got through it in the bottom of the 7th inning. Had given up a 2-out double to Justin Smoke, but that didn't faze him. The win would go to Brian Moeller, be his first of the year if the Rangers can rally. The Rangers started a guy with 7 wins who had just 2 hit this Astros team a week ago. The Astros started a guy who was winless for the year, but things don't always work out as planned. Both teams have had their chances to do more tonight. The Astros have stranded 10. The Rangers have stranded 11. That ball is into right field. Base hit for Bourbon. And again, the opportunities have been there all game. That's what, 6 out of 8 innings they've had the leadoff man on. That's going to do it, by the way, for Chacin. They've got the righty Fulchino ready to go. And righty's about to come up. So before Elvis Andrus can bat, a pitching change at hand. Bourbon is on. And we'll come back and see what Elvis Andrus can get done right after this on TXA 21. Base hit.
I thought it was a base hit. Well, it's a play Michael could make, but he's playing way in. Bourne slashed it hard. I think he deserved a base hit on that.
Fulchino was warming up along with Lopez. They go get Lopez instead. And this guy has been actually real good this year. Has not been allowing inherited runners to score. Has created his own mess sometimes, but right here he's going to inherit 1 on, nobody out. And the top of the Ranger order coming with Elvis Andrus, who's 2 out of 4. Rangers swept these Astros last weekend. Astros with a nice little first volley here in Arlington. Again, tomorrow it's a 2:05 game. Sunday, a 7:05 game. And what a nice little matchup that is, Tag. It's Tommy Hunter against Roy Oswald. The bunt. And a little bobble, but Andrus is out. Bunting for a hit, I guess, there, Tag, right?
Yeah, now, of course, he's bunting for a base hit, but he just didn't get it down the third baseline where he was trying to get it. He bunted it right straight back to the pitcher. And that pretty much eliminates your chance for a base hit.
So even though it acts exactly as a sacrifice would, You kind of get inside Elvis's head and you figure that's an 0 for 1 and not a sack.
You've only got 6 outs left in the game and you're down by 4 runs, so you're not going to sacrifice in that situation. I don't think. Well, a pitcher wouldn't hit down 4 runs, but I can't think of a circumstance in the 8th inning where you sacrifice bunt.
And I bring that up because that's what the scorer's got to do, right? Is get into Elvis's head.
Well, you tend to give the benefit to the hitter on the sacrifice, but I don't know how you could give a sacrifice on that.
And now it's just buzzed in, and that's exactly what they did anyway. They gave him a sacrifice.
Well, the rule says give the benefit to the hitter. But it's tough to imagine that you can get a sacrifice bunt when you're down by 4 runs.
Right.
But I'll take it if I'm Elvis.
David Murphy's going to pinch hit now for Blanco on Baylor night at the ballpark. So those in the know that are here from Waco, they appreciate that Murphy's got a chance to swing now. Very proudly a Baylor Bear. He was out there to catch that first pitch tonight. Now trying to bring home Bourbon and get the Rangers a bit closer here. We mentioned earlier the Rangers have scored 6 runs or more in 8 straight games. And tonight they've been held to half of that. And allowing the Astros to do a lot of hitting in the mid part of this ball game. They got the 3 runs in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Now the Rangers all during this win streak, Tom, a lot of 2-out base hits to drive in runs. That's what the Astros have done tonight.
Yeah, the Astros have swung the bats well tonight. They've had some pretty good pitches to hit, and they've taken advantage of that. But 13 hits, 7 runs. Good night for any offense.
Murphy runs that count to 3-1, and if he can get on base, the one thing that you love is what's coming up next. You got Vlad Guerrero, a guy who with one swing could get the Rangers real close. Bourbon down the line at third. Murphy takes strike 2. Been a lot of 3-1 counts tonight, where again you give credit to the Astros. Their pitchers have come back, not giving in. Rockies have taken the lead on the Angels. Here's some good news, 2-1. That game in the 5th. Flicked into the crowd. Big crowd of 43,457. Waiting on the fireworks show after the game. Lopez brings it. And yet another foul from David Murphy. The game that Lewis and Moeller pitched against each other just last week, that game was done in about 2 hours and 20 minutes. This one's going to sail past 3:20. As we saw with Keppinger in the top of the inning, you got a contact hitter who's not giving in. That's the essence of David Murphy, too.
A lot of good quality low strikes. Lopez has nice sinking action to his fastball. Keeps it down. David spoiled some pretty good pitches. Lopez has only walked 3 batters in 29 innings.
The 3-2 pitch. Murphy comes through. That's a good Baylor Bear right there. It's 7-4. And up comes Vlad Guerrero.
That's earning a base hit and an RBI right there. Lopez pitched him tough. A lot of sinkers, kept the ball down. David spoiled some really good pitches. And then hits a pretty good pitch, really. It's outside by a couple of inches. And he just slaps it into left field, pick up an RBI, and get the Rangers one run closer.
Now, Guerrero struck out against Wilton Lopez in Houston last weekend. He's going to have a chance to atone for that. He will take outside. Hamilton on deck. Hits are even now in this one, 13 apiece. Ooh, outside corner.
He's being careful, trying to keep the ball away from him. You got to keep it way away to keep Vlad from doing damage, though. He can reach out 6 inches outside and still hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Inside.
Somehow I don't think the Astros want Vlad to get on and see Hamilton hitting in a 3-run game. I'm sure they'll bring in a lefty. They still have Tim Burdick out in the bullpen, but boy, Josh is swinging right now. Lefty, righty, you name it. He's got a chance to hit one out of here and tie the game if he can get him up here this inning.
That's up to Vlad to keep it going. It'll swing and sail it towards center, though. Shallow. Keppinger calling and catching off to the side. Hamilton stays on deck. And we're at the end of 8. The win streak in jeopardy. 7-4 Houston. Got a big crowd here tonight. All excited about seeing that Ranger win streak roll along to 12, but right now the Astros trying to stamp out that fire. It is 7-4. 9th inning upon us, and the amazing Alexei Ogando. 6 1/3 big league innings. And it's just not been a problem at all. He's been in 3 games. He's won all of them. And he's hitting 1,000. He's 1 for 1 at the plate. They will get Osvaldo Navarro for his first at bat tonight. Navarro did get into a handful of games with the Mariners in 06 and went 2 for 3. He was a career .667 hitter at the time he was called up a few days ago. Young backing up, kind of wrestles with it, and he drops it. And Navarro is safe. Earlier tonight, Young was charged with an error, and then that got reversed. We'll see how this is scored. No ruling yet.
But it's going to be a long throw, and then not a real hard hit ball. So even though Michael booted it, if he caught it, it still would have taken a long, accurate throw to get Navarro at first base. So that's a call that can go either way. That one's going to be an error.
Up so, boy, an inning after Michael got a reprieve, he ends up with the error anyway. And that's a great stat right there to kind of sum it up. Chris Johnson, the hitter, 3 for 4 tonight with 3 runs batted in. Who knew? Another one of those guys just brought up from AAA, and they're a AAA Round Rock team. Not exactly thought to be a juggernaut or anything like that this year, but the few guys that they have promoted have excelled in their first week up. Been a lot of pitches for the Rangers tonight. And that really started with Colby Lewis, who ended up giving up 5 runs in 5 innings tonight. Up too high, 2-2. The big baseball news tonight was down in Tampa St. Pete. An amazing 149 pitches for Edwin Jackson to go all the way and no hit his former team. Arizona wins 1-0. That ball off the glove of the leaping Joaquin Arias, who had come in the game when Murphy had pinch hit for Blanco. It's 2 on, nobody out. And a 4-hit game for Chris Johnson. I don't think we'll see a lot more of Pedro Feliz if this keeps up.
That's a good day for Johnson. He swung the bat well. And you got a big league uniform and a bat in your hand, you're capable of getting your base hits. You wouldn't be in the big leagues if you weren't. And he's having a good night tonight, swinging the bat well. 3 of his hits drove in a run. 3 separate base hits for RBIs.
Here's Quintero, who surprised everybody, dropping down a bunt in the 6th. And this is not as much of a surprise because he got 2 on, nobody out. Ogando, the converted outfielder, just pound one in on Quintero, who can probably forget about bunting now. It's 0-2.
He squared around as if he was going to bunt. Michael and Justin both charged, and then he turned around and swung. A lot of area to shoot a ground ball for a base hit, but he fouled it off. Now he's down 0-2.
And that will take care of that. Yep. Ogando keeps piling up the strikeouts. He was doing that in the minors too. You watch him, and it's just such a live arm. Everything that he throws moves. Max Ramirez was standing up, basically imploring him, get it up nice and high, and he did. Now the number 9 man in the order, Jason Bourgeois, Rangers' 2nd-round pick 10 years ago. Persevering and getting a shot now with Houston. He'll put one up in the air, foul ground. Smoke over, can't get it. But that guy did in the first row. He's got 2. not on that one swing, but that's pretty cool right there. Oh, hand one off. Very nice. The Astros get their closer up now in a 7-4 game. Ooh, look out. That ball smoked the umpire, Eric Cooper.
Wow. That's the second time this week we've seen that. That ball, I think it must have been a slider called, and he threw a fastball, and Max never got his glove up.
Well, they're going to make sure that Eric Cooper's okay. I mean, that ball was on him immediately.
The catcher, when he calls a breaking ball, you're looking for a slow pitch, and you anticipate it's going to break down and away. And so that's where you're anticipating the ball is going to end up and where you're going to catch it. When a guy's throwing 96 miles an hour and he throws then a fastball that you're not ready for, you don't even have time to get your glove up. And I'm not sure if that's what happened, but that's what it looked like. Be able to tell. Yeah, you see he's putting his glove down and away. Well, it's hard to tell, but it looked like he might have been crossed up. In any event, he was definitely crossed up by the location of the pitch.
I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Ron Washington.
I don't know, unless someone blamed Max for that happening. I don't know what Max would be mad at.
Yeah, Max was getting upset at something, and out came Ron Washington. That's a weird one.
You know, I don't even want to speculate, other than the only thing that could be making Max mad that I know of is if someone said something to him about not catching that ball to keep it from hitting the home plate umpire, which, if that occurred, was way out of line.
Wash has talked to pretty much every umpire here. And Cooper patting Max Ramirez on the back.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's what it is, but I don't know what else would have made Max mad. Eric is not mad at him.
Let's take a look here. I don't know if Max was reacting to being pushed aside there or not. There's Mike Riley, the crew chief. Looks like he's instructing him just to stay away. Max is such a good guy. I'm sure all he wanted to do was say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're telling him to get away. Max is just trying to make sure he's okay.
Well, now the infield's going to be coming in. Runners advancing on, what do they call it, a wild pitch. Second and third, one out. And after all that, now it is 2-1. And again, the Rangers in range right now, within 3. Not crazy to think they can come back. Lindstrom's not been an automatic closer. But one hit here could make it real tough. Backhanded by Max, 3-1. And again, even Ogando, a guy who's been just a strike throwing machine, has just kind of fallen into that pit where there just have not been clean, easy 10 or 12 pitch innings since the first. He's going to walk him to bring up Bourne. And Mike Maddox out to the mound. The inning starting with an error. A shame that Arias couldn't catch that one at second base, too. That would have changed the complexion of this inning. Ball that got barely over him. It's been
I think that little argument at home plate was just a misunderstanding. I think Max was disappointed that the play happened in the first place, and he just wanted to make sure the home plate umpire was okay, and the other umpires just wanted to let the home plate umpire get a little breath and get his wits about him again. And I think Max just felt badly that they told him to get out of the way when all he was trying to do was apologize. But I don't think anyone was necessarily at fault for doing anything wrong. It was just one of those communication issues.
Bourne a 1-for-5 night, and Keppinger waits on deck. You don't figure Bourne, kind of a slap hitting type, can get around on Ogando. It's a great chance to get that strikeout. Put yourself in a position where it can more easily stay 7-4. Basically saying no need to be fancy here with Bourne. Ground ball. Arias has got it, coming home for one. That's all they'll get. That's the one they needed to get. Keeps this thing 7-4. Now Ogando will face Keppinger with 2 out.
Now they played the infield in. Ogando got the ground ball. You can't play the infield at double play depth with Bourne the hitter, because with his speed it's tough to turn too. You have to play the infield in. And he hit it right at Arias, who made the play at the plate.
Keppinger has seen a ton of pitches tonight. Had a 10-pitch at bat last time. Had a walk back in the 5th. And there's another ground ball. Arias has got it. So the Rangers will have their shot. Hamilton will lead it off in the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to keep the Magic alive and push that win streak to 12. Show you our standard insurance play of the game. You'll see this one again, I'm sure, at some point. Elvis Andrus over the shoulder and never does lose the baseball. The Rangers have made some good defensive plays tonight, and they've got, 13 hits on the board too, but it is 7-4 Houston tonight. And Josh Hamilton, who was 8 for his last 9 against these Astros, will open up now against Matt Lindstrom. So let's go Rangers chance start. And the man with the 19-game hitting streak will take strike one.
Lindstrom saved 17 games. He's got a good arm. but opponents are hitting .311 against him. That's unusual against a closer with 17 saves to see an opponent's batting average that high. The game last Sunday in Houston, Lindstrom was pitching with a lead in the 9th inning, and Josh got the base hit back up the middle to tie the game.
And the Rangers need, obviously, base runners right now. Don't need a Josh Hamilton long ball, though. That would be fun to watch. Again, you go back, you look at when the Rangers had the bases loaded back in the 4th and the 5th. And just kind of settled. This after being shut down through the first 3 by Brian Moeller. High fly ball from Hamilton. It's going to stay right in the infield. So it's a nice first out to get. Whoa! And it's not gotten. That is dropped by Navarro. Here comes Brad Mills to argue that he had it long enough. And what a break for the Rangers. Mike Riley's going to get some help on this one, I think. And again, this is not an excuse, but we mentioned these are some bleary-eyed umpires having missed their flights from Seattle yesterday, traveling all day to get here. And it could be that Mike Riley gets overruled if one of the other umpires saw it.
Oh, so one of the other umpires might have had a better look at it.
It stays.
Well, it's tough to argue as a manager right now because all the umpires had their eye on the play and they all had a pretty good look at it. And they're going to rule that he didn't have complete control of the ball.
We got to complete the baseball action is what they tell you. And in the sweep down motion right there.
Yeah, he had the ball in the glove, but watch as he brings the glove down, the ball falls out. And it's a tough call, but they ruled that that wasn't complete control of the catch.
And by the spirit of that rule, that's true. Even when Hamilton pops up, he's getting on. Boy, it's a game with 5 errors now. 27 hits. And the Rangers still have a heartbeat.
The way it's defined in the rule book is a catch is the act of a fielder in getting secure possession in his hand or glove of a ball in flight and firmly holding it. And they ruled that he did not firmly hold the ball. Well, that would be a great way to start a 3-run rally.
That would be a demoralizing thing for Houston if this slips away off of that. But that's the magic carpet ride of a long win streak sometimes. You get a break or two. Cruz with a bunt. And unfortunately, Hamilton's caught off, but he's going to get back in time. Not a bad idea, the bunt base hit for Nelly Cruz. He just couldn't get it down. That would have brought Smoke up as the tying man had he been able to drop the bunt down.
Yeah, the only way the Rangers can tie the game is they've got to get 3 runs. And Nelly, if he hits an extra base hit or a home run, it's still someone else has to score. And if he can beat out a bunt, that's just as good as a home run, basically. You have to get base runners. You have to bring someone up to the plate as the tying run at least.
He didn't feel the double play depth, and Justin Smoke will take a strike. Now, we've been kind of whining about the Rangers leaving 12 on base, but the Astros have left 13. You haven't been whining. I've been whining. Didn't mean to put you in that group.
Good breaking ball by Lindstrom right there.
Post-game coverage to follow. Babe Laufenberg and Mark McLemore will have that for you. One of those marathon games tonight. About a 3-hour, 45-minute affair. And the Rangers had a lead for maybe about 4 minutes tonight. Smoke will tap it foul. Now, the Rangers had that 3-2 advantage right at the end of the 5th. They took that lead on a bases-loaded walk, and then Bourbon flied out right away. A couple minutes to play some commercials for you, and then bang, the lead doubled, Pence doubled. It was 3-3, and the Astros were kind of running from there. Smoke's going to request time. Lindstrom was taking too long out there. That ball squirts away. You can forget about the double play now. Wild pitch will get Hamilton down to second. And again, not exactly masterpiece theater here tonight. Both sides, but here are the Rangers still in it. Max Ramirez on deck. He would bat as the tying man if Smoke gets on. Ground ball, slowly hit. And the Rangers have one out left to them tonight. This big crowd is hung around. Fireworks to follow. You're on record, right? We're seeing those from our rear view mirrors. You and I got to get ready for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of fireworks over the years, so I will choose to lead the crowd out of here.
You're right behind you. The band is playing, and I hope they know a long first set. That'd be the all-timer. You coming by to sample that on the way home. I'm going to bet you money that's not going to happen.
You know what the chance of that is?
Is it less than zero?
About the same chance as me jumping off the light tower. If you're doing an afternoon gig,
yeah,
you've got a shot. Nighttime,
yeah, 11 o'clock, 80s hair metal for tag, not so much.
Not much of a shot tonight.
Well, you and I will both be back here ready to go with C.J. Wilson on the mound tomorrow. Don't jump, Tom. Don't jump. Josh Banks will go for Houston, that 2 o'clock game tomorrow.
Must be the fireworks man up there.
That
ready?
Is the fireworks man. You're right. Got a good program planned tonight. And again, tomorrow, you've got the Reckless Kelly concert after the game, sponsored by Budweiser. So come for the game and stick around for that. And the Sunday evening game, the Viva Los Rangers night. And 2 more opportunities this weekend to come see the Rangers, who will still be in first place no matter what. Inside corner. And again, you like the Rangers' chances at the start tonight. Ron Washington had Colby Lewis on the mound, 7-4. Brian Moeller 0-4 for Houston, but Rangers down to their last strike. Not yet. An 18-4 month of June. It's been quite a ride. And the Rangers in trouble here. The 3-2. 2-out pitch from Lindstrom is popped into right. And all good things must end. The streak is over at 11. Your final tonight, Houston 7 and the Rangers 4. And a chance to bounce back immediately Because, again, it's a day game tomorrow, the 2:05 first pitch. Now the Rangers fall to 44-29. And again, the good news is they've won 11 of 12. For Tom Grieve, for Julie Dobbs, for our entire crew, Josh Lewin saying goodnight from the ballpark. 7-4 Houston the final. Kurt Dykert directed. Kurt Dykert produced and Dave Burchett directed. Associate producers Kelly Donaldson and Eric Josephson. 7-4 the final. You got the post-game show coming up. Your home for Friday Night Baseball is TXA 21.